久々にちょっとやっていこうかなと思います。こんにちは。そうだ。よし。さて、なんだっけ、あのサイト。選手とかのスタッツを見るサイト。スパイク .gg だっけ。やべ、なんか変なサイトに飛んじゃった。違う。変なサイトに飛んでしまった。スパイク GG で調べたら出てくるか。出てきた。これで、試合が見れるよね、確か。見たい選手はね、後でお伝えします。見てりゃわかります。もう今わかるかもしれない。もしかしたら。で、結構前だな、でも最近の試合でも。7月か。この人のやつが見たいんですよね。どの試合がいいんだろう。G2e スポーツ。これ見た気がするんだよな、これ。見た気がするんだよな。何人かね、見たい選手はいるんだけど、どれがいいのかな。全部、もう全部勝ってるから、もう結末分かっちゃう試合を見ることになるんだけど、これかな。 G2 が強い。FPX とギルドと G2 どれが強いんだろう。どれが強い？ FPX とギルドと G2 どれが強いかな。ビッグもあるよ。ビッグはバロラントはそうでもない強さ。あとはダークタイガース。ダークタイガースって名前かっこいいな。ネーミングセンスあるね。ルナティック。ただこれ結構前なんだよな。これじゃないんだよ。やっぱ最近のやつ見たいから、FPX G2 ギルド。G2。G2。FPX は名前かっこいいけどね。とりあえず G2 が、G2 見てみるか。これ便利よね、このサイト。どうやって見るんだっけ？アイスボックスあった。こういう感じね。ツイッチで見る。このコンテンツは現在、過去1ヶ月のやつしかツイッチ残ってないってことか。いや、YouTube であるぞ。絶対。YouTube で、多分、アップロードされてるやつがあるんですよ。自由にね、使っていいっていう感じだから、多分。アセンド VS G2。アセンド VS G2。アイスボックス。アセンド VS G2。アイスボックス。これ。音量どうかな？でかい？ちょっと。何このゲーム。よし、これ見ていきます。ちなみに、他になんか、この選手強いぜっていう選手いる？この選手、でも、同じような名前しか出てこないか、結局。なんかみんな知らないけど、この選手強いぜ、みたいな。 選手ね。チーム。まあ、チームでもいいんだけど、選手でもいい。FPX 今中国の選手募集してたね。それでも、あれでしょ？ヨーロッパの FPX のチームじゃなくて、中国のチームってことでしょ？新しくみたいな。中国にも展開していくぜって感じでしょ？てか今日あるんだこれ。これ今日？ねえ、これって。ゼータディビジョン VS インソムニア。これ今日なの？どなたか。これいつ？これ、いつ？オーガスト12。今日じゃないね。明日だね。うん。明日だったわ。なんか中途半端な曜日にやるんだね。木曜日やるってこと？ 12 ってこと？まあ、無難にちょっとセンチネルズも見るか。無難にね。なんだかんだセンチネルズ見たいでしょ、みんな。俺も見たい。センチネルズ VS X セット。X セット負けてるね。これ見る？負けとるやつ。センチネルズが負けてるし。あえて。これね、スパイク GG っていうサイトです。ザ・スパイク GG。普通にスパイク .gg って入れたら変な謎のサイトに飛ぶから気をつけてね。ウイルス入るかもしれない。あっとくか。絶対あるんだっけな。これ。これです。負けてる試合見るか。勝ってる試合はみんな見てると思うんだよ。負けてる試合見ようぜ。センチネルズが。これいつ？ジュライ10。ギリ1ヶ月過ぎてるね。ってことは、スイッチ上にある。まあ、とりあえず、そしたら、これ見るか。俺の、このキャラクター邪魔よね。消します。なぜオンにしたのか。もう速攻消すのに。音量なんかでかかったり小さかったりしたら教えてください。さあ、で、今回見たい選手は、このシーネットっていう選手です。
The four play down middle, and if there's any team that's going to know the opponents, you're going to have such a great set of mind games.
あんまり音量でかくてした。今度外国の実況の方がうるさい。なんつってるかわかんないからね。強っ。強としか言えないよ。なんか結構、まあ、今度動画でも出すんだけど、プロの上手い選手とか見てても結構ね、エイム強いのは当然なんだけど、結構体で合わせてる人も多いね。シックとかそうだけど、センチネルズ。これで3キル取れる？クラシックで。で、このシーネットって選手のオペレーターがマジで強い。オペレーター以外は、まあ他の選手とそこまでね、そこまでまあめちゃくちゃ強いってわけではないんだけど、なんかこいつのオペレーターだけ別のゲームになってる、本当に。まあ今、マーシャル持ってるやつね。この赤チームの、赤チームって言ったらどうなのかな？赤チームのマーシャル。これ。こいつのオペレーターが、なんか、バロラントってクイックショットが全然できないじゃん。すげえ、なんか、スコープ展開するまで遅いし、持つまで遅いのに、めっちゃクイックショットみたいなやつだよ。
I'm just not gonna use the other button. Don't need to. Point and click adventure time. But speaking of Kellogg's on the other side, because it is the opposing jet, I would say normally in my mind I see this as the CNET against maybe Nookie sort of matchup. That kind of, you know, I'm looking at firepower to firepower. Those two kind of line up here. But Kellogg's has impressed me, but then I've not seen the consistency yet.
No, I think that's a fair statement to make. Again, early on, it was very good to see him kind of stretch his legs a little bit, but I'd say as maybe the event has
こう強いシーンをね、ちょっと集めたいんだよね。大会もそうだし、まあ、個人配信でもいいんだけど。
What's that term you used? The repeatable success, right? In terms of sending him forwards and hoping for the best. We haven't really seen him deliver.
No, now, bonus round time. There is a bit of pack-a-punch on this where it's going to be Starkso with the rifle, so roll that in the back of your mind. If you see him go down, which he has to Killox, that's the big pickup there. Now, of course, on the other side for G2, you want to keep your 4 standing. You want to keep this clean, and so far it's not been clean because they've managed to find 2. Coldamenta and Mixwell gone. This is where it gets a little dicey in that regard, as Killers now does have that rifle himself. Zeke looking for opportunities towards middle, but that sight take's still going to come through, and I'm looking at that split towards middle. Zeke going to be a nuisance, but gets caught by Avova. Great pick from Avova there to remove that danger that was lingering and lurking. And now the 2 remain. Killers and Bone Cold. Now Bone Cold
こういう壁なんだ。
close plant, he will be able to buy a bit of time, but Killers still needs some big work.
縦に壁張るんだね。まあちょっと今回は個人技に着目してみたいんで、なんかどういう風なステップというか、どんな風に打ち合ってるかなとか、どんな風なキャラコンしてるかなとか、ちょっと見ていきたいです。
By the skin of their teeth comes down to utility.
困りますってちゃんと受付通してもらわないと。お父さんどうしたの会社まで来て。
個人の感想であり効果を保証するものではありません。これは飛ばそう。結構やっぱほらプロの打ち合いとか見てても体で合わせてるよね。体で。ベストオブ〇〇みたいな感じで。いや、それが、出てる選手、出てない選手いるじゃん、それって。人気選手は出てるけど。
Of course, have to highlight, we do have the incredible Sapphire joining us as an observer. We're stealing the best talent from NA. You know, you got to bring them across. So we do have her keeping us up to date in game.
まあ久々ということもあって、久々に大会を見る。結果は分かってるけど。これ、選手のさ、10人選手がいたらもう全部欲しいよね。全部。個人画面というか。オペレーターでめっちゃ攻めるね。
Was lost. Now again, we're looking at damage potential here. In a post plant, the marshals are going to be a little bit trickier to utilize. Not everyone.
あい強い。そこプリエイムではないか。
Down to Coldamenta and Mixwell. Let's see if they can do some damage. Cost a gun, cost a rifle, make them reinvest. Maybe nab an op away. Now that'd be the ideal. Unafraid to take the fight though. Showing presence constantly. Maintaining the element of surprise as he's ready for that next.
このシーネットはジェットめっちゃ使ってるんだけど、あんまりなんか、なんて言うんだろう。ジェットって言ったらなんかエントリーしてみたいなイメージあるけど、あんまりしないね。するときはするけど。さっき話してたシーネットの強いオペレーター17ラウンド目に期待してください。17ラウンド、遠いな。遠いわ。ちなみにシーネットが大会で活躍してるシーン、多分半年ぐらい前に一回見たことあって、なんか優勝してる時かな。アセンドが。全部の武器最強だった。オペレーターだけじゃなくて。ファントムめっちゃ強かったし。全部打ち合い勝ってた。一人だけバカ切りした。あ、なんだかんだ。流し見してたら 4-0 になってる。
Oh dear. Welcome to the big leagues, boys. CNED's having none of it, but played it on the corner. This could be interesting for Nuki. He does actually get away with it. Really well played to Nuki. And we know that Nuki, pound for pound, is excellent. And you're seeing as to why dominating towards B-Long, controlling the portion of the map. But then look at where the
なんかレイナ使ってる時だけ
leaning towards this mid
球当たらないこのゲーム。
back to the Viper on the other side almost. That's going to be Mixwell. Sitting deep, might have heard an audio cue or two because he's kind of tracking the movement here.
この伸びるアルティメットね。伸びるアルティメット。なんか変わるらしいよね、パッチで。アルティメットの範囲というか、仕様が。あれ、見えたよね。しっかり倒す。意外とバンダル多いね。バンダル、ファントム論争。試合始まったらコメントめっちゃ減らない？まあいいけど。めっちゃ減らない？ マッチ始まった途端にコメントめっちゃ来たの。まあいいけど。 さあ、でもこのウルトはで2回設置3人来てたらもうかなりきついよね、実。
But an opener rifle are pretty pricey too, and I mean he did his job, right? He held down B long, and you lose mid off the back of it. You can't do much about it. You're playing back in
ここのロープから上がってくるやつを見てると、もうここ勝ちポジだね。絶対勝てるじゃん。あそこしか上がってくるとこないから、あと後ろ見ていてもらったら。
In the evening, got to see a bit of Jane playing. He loves to save, he does. But yeah, Coldamenta joining him in that as well. Now, Ascend, I don't know how well established their monies, but they could definitely.
相場が一番打ち合い弱いです、このゲーム。実は。キャラクターのいや、そんな本当はないけど。なんかちょっと中途半端なこと言えないな、俺。信じてしまわれるかもしれない。相場と政治弱いです。ちなみにプロの大会の動画なんて見てもあんま勉強にならないですよ、正直。正直ね、勉強には。まあなんかこんなスモーク使ってるんだとかそういうのはあるかもしれないけど。まあでも、やっぱ結構体で合わせてるイメージあるよね。まあ、プリームが合ってるから、うまくいってるから体で合わせてるように見えるんだろうけど。ファントムなんか、やっぱ、外したとき当たんないんだよな。なんかバンダルは外しても、打ち直しが結構効くけど、もう外したなってなったときにはファントムじゃね、時すでに遅いことが多い。注目選手 C ネットです。ひとまずは。まあでも他の選手も強い、これアセンド。初期アセンドはね、C ネットだけって言われてたらしいんだけど、今は他の選手も強化されて、このスタークソみたいな、スタークソみたいなやつとか、このジークってやつみたいなやつとかも強いみたいです。この辺が強化された選手かな確か。ブリーズはバンダル多いらしいけどね。アイスボックスはでもそんな言うて、打ち合い結構近いぞ。まあこういうところ長いけど、こういうの稀でしょ、こういう打ち合いって。まあ、B の打ち合いは長いかもね。CT から言ったら。さあ、ラークがめっちゃ刺さってる。バレてない。見たかったね、今。C ネット視点が見たい、今の。
Cole did great on his exploring mission. That's all you had to ask for. Starkso instantly there to back him up. And now the 4v3 post plant.
しっかり CT あそこの裏通ってる。
Yeah, Vova down to 5 HP. Got another 20 seconds to wait on
that heal as
well. And Cena just going to post up behind yellow.
オペレーターこのゲーム強いからね。オペレーター、やっぱオペレーターだけ別ゲーよね。他の武器だと、こういう風にガン見してるのあんま強くないんだけど、このゲームで。外しちゃうから。オペレーターのガン見は強い。
And the way they've exploited the rotations here was just perfect work from Bone Cold. It's one of those guys, just wait, just see how, let's see what I can do, just hold for a second.
今の映んないんだ。
Over gonna find one, but it's quickly traded out, and there it is. So, well done in the end to Ascend, but I want to credit that somewhere between, I guess, Bone Cold having the good intuition to explore that idea.
GO 出身の選手は AK と似てるバンダルが多いのかな。ああ、GO は AK の方がちゃんと強いらしいね。俺あんまやったことないからわかんないけど。C ネットは右クリ長押しではないみたいですよ。なんか切り替えてちゃんと。まあわかんない。でも多分右クリじゃなさそうな感じだった。素朴な質問なんですけど、好きな AV 女優誰ですか？それは難しいね。それは難しいわ。質問が。候補があればね、これとこれみたいな。ご飯とパンどっちが好きみたいな感じだったら答えやすいよ。広告まであと。広告多いわ。テンズじゃん、テンズ。ゲームラボの広告できた。
And as it stands, I think looking at this map, out of all of them, this could have been quite a close affair. But if we've all watched the G2 games, they love a comeback. They love a comeback. They're like, we'll only start, warming up in the second half. Don't worry about it. And again, look at series, best of 5.
テンツなのかな
want to burn out early, but you would argue the map pool does lean towards Ascend. They are probably the more stable of the two teams, at least with the changes coming in. G2 had a lot more to come through. They've rebuilt to this roster. The depth of map pool may be a little bit shallower, but we don't know that yet.
これはどこに投げるの？ミッド？
This deep run from
ミ
G2,
ッドっ
which
ぽ
is
いね。
extremely
ミッ
exciting.
ドの中間
However,
っぽいね。
right on back in, you can see how this
まあ
looks
どっ
from
から
the
でも投げれ
outside.
ますよってやつ。
Ornamenta gonna be kind of put on notice with that.
プロでもしっかりとドローンでこれ B メインクリアリングしていくと。
But a switch up in holding B now.
感度高そう。
Deeper towards the site itself.
さあ、で、レイナがラークしておりますと、ここで。この形式がなんだかんだ一番強い。で、ちなみにレイナがラークなんだね。サイファー系いないもんね。さあ、ラークで1キル入った。で、B を丁寧に。B を丁寧に攻めていく。で、これ定番の設置ね。ただこれを、あ、これ縦壁で相手を浮かそうとする作戦ね。深いね。今の壁ちょっとうまくいってなかったけど。さあ、微妙に橋が上がるね。さっきの縦壁が邪魔。さあ、これリテイクあるよ。全然。イエローに1人いて。まあただ。やっぱオペレーター1人いるだけで全然違うよね。
pretty well-rounded from Ascend. They're just doing everything right. G2 on, I wouldn't say doing anything particularly wrong.
無知で申し訳ないんですけど、どっちが強いですか？どっちが強いかっていうと、この試合アセンドが勝ちます。ネタバレをすると。この試合アセンドが勝ちます。ただ両方強いチームです。両方。しっかりと。このシーネットっていう選手が、チーム自体が全然強くなかった時からめちゃくちゃ強い選手。めちゃくちゃスコアがいい。基本、キャリーしとるみたいな。プロの大会で、キャリーして優勝してるみたいなのもある。EU で。
Uncold actually going to walk through on mid and Avova a little late back up to kitchen nearly actually catches him, will catch the headshot through the wall. Mixwell will deal with that though.
Yeah, I like the ooh, no, not now.
意外とこの壁がね、壊されないんだよね。
Make the lineups a little trickier, but Bone Cold's down anyway, so what does it matter in that?
まあエコだしね、今回は。
Maybe Stark, so would have to just keep that in mind if he's got some sweaty lineups.
そう、壁壊して設置中のやつ倒そうと思っても、このオペレーターが後ろにいるのがやっぱ結局だるいよね。めちゃくちゃ強いオペレーターが後ろにいられたら、あ、外した。
Uncharacteristic miss. It's a one-off once in a while. It does happen. He is human, believe it or not. And here we go. Already Avova, great work towards one, but there it is. Instantly denied, instantly shut down. Zeke though gonna have to deal with some more pressure. 3v3, CNET and
これリテイクされるか。1v3。
I was just expected to hit at this point, but Stark so put down. G2 finally pulling off the retake.
これでも7-1か。
Will get themselves on the board on the back of Nuki, really forcing the issue onto yellow there. You can see him actually shaking his head.
G2 はどの部分もドリームチームを作る大富豪チーム。ね、大富豪チームだね。だってこの今 G2 にいるメンバーでミックスウェルはもともといたけど、このヌーキーとかケロック Z は知らんけど、他のチームから引き抜いてるでしょ。アボバとか引き抜きチームでしょ。巨人でしょ、巨人。だから野球で言ったらわかんないけど金で勝ってるというか、ジャイアンツでしょ。ジャイアンツって意味でしょ、G2 って。違うの？ジャイアンツ e スポーツでしょ。
Quite nice this little Reina battle going on, isn't it? Now, as you noted, the res did come through.
ケロック G がオペレーターですか。 結構映ったけど、ここむずいよね。こうどこまでが壁あるか分かりにくい。あ、おー、それはね、厳しい。しっかり出てたね。ウルト使った後後ろに。いや、強っ。
Ascender running just rings around them.
They are. Like I said, once again, just creating their own space on the back of these opening engagements. And Avova has slipped through undetected. See if Zeke's considering the possibility at all of this. No, is the answer to that
今
one.
のはしっかりちゃんとエイムしたね。体で合わせるっていう。俺とか今とかも、まあ、ちょっと外してたけど、負けてたけど、体で合わせてる感じなかった、エイム。
Kellogg's there. It's kind of symptomatic of being desperate to
結局、バロラントの一連の正解は、これなのかもしれない。
He's 1-8 right now. He's not really had the opportunity to even find a, you know, an advantageous opening or even a clean gunfight, right? And right there, it's the round where, you know, 1 every 3 rounds, he's got the operator online and actually have the repurchase here once again with 2 Spectres elsewhere. Now, this is a concerning thing when it does kind of become that crutch weapon, and it's such a huge burden on the economy. On the flip side, right? CNET can keep buying these, right? Over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, he's not got many worries in the world right now. And I am seeing coming in, so what that's all about. Hopefully it gets resolved.
正直バイパー編成の時カーテンからの目抜きを警戒プラス自分たちもするという意味でファントムがかなり有利だと思うんですがどう思いますか？まあ、ファントムがいいと思います。僕も確かにそういう意味では。
Actually closer, but you'd want them to be the closest of the matches. You know, when you're looking at a map pool, when you get towards the tail end.
野球の話は怖いで。
Right? It's normally whatever's left over. Who picked this one though? Let me have a little.
G2 はシージがすごいドリームチームですよね。いや、全部多分そうなんだと思う。ドリームチームだと思う。まあ、バロラントはそうでもないかもしれないけど。
But let's have a little peek. Do you remember who vetoed into this?
I was just frantically scrolling. Actually, yeah. So this was G2's pick after Ascended banned Breeze.
I see. That makes sense considering.
ちょっと飛ばすか。
This is running around. You know, I'll come.
It was against has on a room that down cat those come back.
Scrappy. I don't think.
Oh, it looks like we're being
game.
Oh,
Fantastic.
they're saying game. Oh, it looks like we're being treated to just a small tech pause. Hopefully, don't have many more
気が詰めた。ア
worries.
セン
Hey,
ド
Pog,
じゃなくて C ネットが待っとっ
CNET's
た。
being Kellogg's again.
And again, this is just a good read here to see Ascend set up like this. CNET playing so deep in spawn, anticipating either the possibility of some early round aggression or looking for that operator pick. And actually, Coldamenta will find CNET and Bone Cold through that mid smoke, so we'll respond and give G2 an advantage here. No res available. So Keeler, Starzo, and Zeke gonna have to play this one out themselves.
なんだこれ Amazon プライムの CM なの？コルダメンタ。おお。ただでもなんか打ち合いの有利的に言ったら今の相手の方が有利なんじゃない説ある俺の中で。ぴったりこのクリックで初段で頭抜けたからよかったけど、あれ外すよね結構。あの置き方。どう思います？強い。コールダメンタが強いぞ。ファントムを使うまではバンダルの方が絶対強いと思ってました。ただ1週間騙されたと思ってファントム使うともう戻れなくなります。でも1週間またバンダル騙されたと思って使ったら戻れなくなる。また。見たい選手って誰ですか？シーネットです。シーネットっていう選手です。投げエロ。
Lurks with Bone Cold slipping through. Starzo finding positions behind Orange. I love that adjustment there from Ascend. Nuki actually going to come close once again. Caught up in the slow orb. Not punished just yet.
このゲーム上手くなるためには、攻めではあんまオペレータ持たない方がいいと思うけど、攻めのオペレータ強いよな、やっぱり。やっぱ設置した後がものすごい強いし、あと、相手が逆詰めしてくるのの、なんていうの、逆詰めしてくるのに対して、すげえ圧力かけれるから、強いと思う。ただ、オペレーターばっか使ってあんま上手くならない気がする。やっぱりほら、今とかさ、ちょっと一瞬戻るけど、やっぱこう、体で合わせていく感じよね。これがうめえやつがうめえよね。もう一回見るか。この、まあこれはちゃうとして、クリアリングスとかするときにこう、しっかり。
I think Coldamenta just tried to slip past that snake bite, maybe get behind gate there with Kellogg's looming back in spawn. Made it interesting at least. Again, I love that. Just at the start there, it's the perfect read again. Nuki always plays aggressive on that pipes position, and that time
ケロック G 調子悪いぞ。1キルしかしてない。ケロックズ。朝食みたいな名前してる。
Straight up on top of Tube here, unable to catch Coldamenta, nearly caught him with the owl drone actually in hand. They'll get this space nice.
もう今回ミッド攻め。ミッド攻め、このマップちょっとむずい。なんか。なんて言うんだろう。模範解答がない。こう言ったらいいなみたいなのが、ちょっと思い浮かびにくい。スポーンから見てんな。ミックセルの位置が地味に強いね、ここ。一気に取るんじゃない？取ったね、やっぱ。ケロック G はキルを取りたい。ここで。おっと、味方がキルしちゃった。
And G2 build back just enough for a buffer. Yeah, and a buffer at that.
おならじゃないですよ。おなら。これかな？これ動かす音かな？わかんないけど。
Last few rounds going
違う？
Pretty comfortably in favor of G2, even with Ascend making a little bit of an adjustment to how they wanted to approach these early rounds.
Spike down B.
Again, I gotta say, kind of gives them I don't want to say a fighting chance, but at least the opportunity to build back in. I mean, a pistol round and a round 2 conversion puts them within touching distance here.
Oh yeah.
And that's a big statement considering how that half felt for the first 8 rounds, 9 rounds.
Yeah, it was brutal. And away we go. G2, let's look on your attacking side. Let's see what we've got to bring here. I want to see some fire coming out from Kellogg's, and he's just been absolutely put to bed. Tucked in, Zeke gives him a little kiss on the forehead, says, nah mate, have a little nap. See you next round.
Sit.
But CNED, yeah, forced away, gets the heal.
レイナやっぱ強いと思うんだよな。
Back up to decent HP, comes right
で両方のチームレイナ入ってるね。よく見たら。
Player advantage to begin with.
And G2 will pause momentarily.
ここの二段待ちは強いけど、倒して戻ったぞ、この二段待ちに対して。いや、これだったら絶対負けないっていうのが、逆に油断となったか。さあ、シーネット強い。ハンドガンも強い。
I mean, it's on see if Coldamenta can maybe find some space, pull a rotation, allow some room. That's going to do it. That's a good start. Second's going to be the tricky one, though, because now they're very aware of it. This is where you got to look at what Mixwell's going to do, right? Can he then find some room? What does he want Coldamenta to do more? Maybe catch that additional player. Okay, spots out another. That's Killer's noted. Now Mixwell needs to start making his move as well. This is kind of indicating, it's kind of implying that they want to either go mid or maybe split towards
このゲームなんか瀕死になった時のワンチャンスが結構作りにくいと思うんだよね。それが作れるのが強いよね、やっぱレイナは。 瀕死にされた時本当にワンチャンスないと思う。裏取る以外に。正面だと銅めっちゃ当てやすいし、一発とかだったら。逆になんか頭当てにくいし、ちょっとしっかり狙わないと。そういう意味で安定的に当てれる人は、とか、まあプロとかは、プロぐらい安定的に当てれたらレイナも結構強いんじゃないかなって俺思っちゃう。なんていうの、そう戦う前に有利になる、不利になる、云々の前に、打ち合い強いって結構正義だしね。
And an all-in A piece once again. CNED now. The Marshall posted up. And opens things up straight away.
I just want this guy's aim, man. Like, please. What does it take? Probably hard work, dedication, and refining your craft. But, you know, I don't have time for that. But apparently CNED does! 3 kills! And he looks like he's barely broken a sweat. He's just sat there, welcoming them in. And it's double digits now for Ascend. And as it stands, G2 needs to get off to a cracking start once we get to the buy round.
They do, yeah.
レイナ調子に左右されすぎてもいい。でも、どのキャラでも調子に左右されない結局。
Whereas they're actually going to sit fairly deep here, and G2 set up across the map here. A little bit of a default, so
レイナの方がチャンス増えるで、でも。打ち合いの。それずるいと思うんだよな。相場とか使ってたら、打ち合いのチャンス、しかも結構嫌なチャンスしか残ってこないもん。最後の方の、ちょっと、キルしにくい状況とかで戦わなきゃいけないみたいなの多いから、プロとかのスコアとか見ても、相場の人とか、あんまスコア良くないの、そういうことだと思うけど。
Takes down CNED. Mixwell's control towards middle begins to begin, and then begins to begin. Bloody great casting.
Yeah. Those are words. They are.
Yeah, crushing it. But as it stands, this is a great opportunity. The first time they've had a really good start to around that opening pick, but it is the bonus round for Ascend, so this is how it should be. But for keloqz, maybe a confidence booster is something he needs.
Last player standing.
He will. Two stars though, and Bone Cold will fall, and 4 survive for G2.
今回実質勝った。
Yeah. More than you can hope for in this round with Ascend already on double digits, but CNED, I'm assuming something.
ジェットとレイナはやっぱ飛び出していけるのが強いよね。カバーするときに。がっつり飛び出しても、ちゃんと帰れるっていう。オーとナイトのボグが出ました。
One that matters. This is the one that counts. We have to see what the
さて。
like a 3-2 split towards at least A as the is in the hands of a Vova, but keep in mind middle.
プロの試合とか見てても、まあ守りはある程度決めてるだろうけど、でもランクみたいな感じだよね。見た感じ。ひとまず普通のラウンドというか、なんか作戦使うラウンド以外は。自分今回ここ詰めるわとか、ここワンピック取りに行くわみたいな。うまく決まっている感じ。お、ダブルピークシーだ。上下。フリーエイム綺麗だよね、シネット。ほら、今のとかも全部全箇所しっかりと。まあそれは当然か。このレベルになると。
Pretty good idea of what's going on. Starzo going to post up here. Anticipation of Cold Amenta.
さあ、下だといるのは。お、勝つんかい。勝つんかい、結局。それ。やっぱ飛び出していく側有利じゃない今のとかも敵が外したと思うんだよ。
Again, look for him to potentially do some damage, but with this round score, it's not even really that big a deal.
Yeah, it's hard to talk, you know, economy impact when you're going to be on 11-5, right? It's like, oh, it cost him a couple of rifles,
コルダメンタ。
right? They need 2 more rounds.
コルダメンタ。
G2 needed
すげえ名前だな。
I feel like this could have been such a big round for them, that big momentum swing right there, one back into it, but this will go to Ascend and it will be 11-5. Keep in mind though, if you're just tuning in and you wonder why we're not getting too overly excited, because it's a best of 5. We have a long series in front of us. This is going to be, well, I say potentially a long series. We'll have to see. As it stands,
I
this
hadn't
is.
consulted the script today actually to see.
Yeah, what's it looking like?
When we were getting out of here. I mean, according to Mitch, this is a sweep, right?
For who? Who did he back?
He wanted to send, which actually probably means.
お、
he's
全
gonna
員、
win,
あ
right?
あ、
'Cause Mitch is
1、
never
2、
predicted.
なんかファントム、
now. Yeah, yeah, spot. Bloody
ファントムとバンダル分かりにくいな。あ、この表示になったら分かりやす
In
い。
we go. Let's see if that
1、2、3、4。
continues here.
全員バンダルだな。
Looks like CNED's gonna be forced off again, playing
G2 は。
against CNED without. I guess Nuki kind of has like somewhat of a flash to an extent. It can force people off angles, but it's not
シー
really
ネ
being
ットのこの
utilized
自分
as
から
such,
飛び
so
出
you're
す
gonna be
時の
depending on Cold
飛び出して
Dimension
こ
to be
の
the
クリアリング
ones
していく時
under
の
pressure or keep them at least
外
uncomfortable.
さなさ
It
す
looks
ご
like
い
a
よ。
full play burst
こうやって
here,
行く時
and
行く時
CNED
これ
still
マジで合ってる
able
ほ
to
ら
find
ほらほら
in between the timing. He's gonna stick
あれこれ
around.
17ラウンド目もしかして
That finds a
言うてた
second.
言うてた17ラウンド目かもしかして
He's going to sit here and wait. Avova's on the other side. He's not sure if they've crossed to yellow yet, but he can clear that back out if he wants to. Nuki's caught a bone cold, so there's still a bit of danger lurking in the depths, but it's now just Avova. And CNED's get track of this. Look at him. He seems so aware that, well, he's probably in yellow. Killer's by his side, just jiggle peeking both angles. There's no clean fight here, no fun fight for
あこれ
Avova.
絶望的。あ、こういう状況とかに残されるからさ、政治とかは。
CNED for now.
やっぱ
Next
もう
step
きついよ
could
ね
be the death, and it is CNED
キルしようがない
unfazed, unpressured. And unaware that this team was meant to have a closer game. 12 to 5, Ascend making it look so simple.
Yeah.
そう、ガン置きは置く位置が完璧じゃないと、マジで。
Again, it comes down to with them having such a successful attacking half.
ちょっとでも相手がオーバーに出てきたりとかしたら、かなりきつい。このゲーム。ガン置きでクリックするだけ。自分もちょっと動いちゃえば全然問題ないんだけど。
There's nothing really to create an opportunity for somebody to get a favorable peek onto CNED, right? Or even to force him back. And the way that CNED plays, we know that he will stick around with that dash. And to say that, okay. He was about to just walk through
ジェットの皆さん、この離婚にスモーク焚くのは絶対やりましょう。これは必須です。必須。わーお。クナイもいけちゃう。いけなかった。ジャッジ。ジャッジとか言うべき。俺はバッキーは嫌いじゃなかったけど、ジャッジは嫌いだな。ジャッジ理不尽すぎる、本当に。さあ、2マップ目いきます。なんだこれ。いや、2マップ目。まあ、同じマッチングです、これは。シーネットが今回、セージを使ってる。ジェットじゃないんだ。なんていうか、バインドは、セージを入れるんだね。
Here come the flashes. One sent back on the other side, and it's worked well, but not well enough to deny the kill coming through. And it's a 2-for-1 trade out. Ascend.
反射神経ってでもこれ FPS ゲームでさ、ずっと本当に集中できるわけじゃないから、ばらけると思うんだよな、絶対に。もちろん得意不得意はあるだろうけど。マップとか見たりとか、完全に集中できないからな。ラインナップ殺しに行った。いや、強い強い強い。政治でも関係ない。何ミラーって、ミラーリングって。あ、ミラーってそういうことか。
Able to get the better of him in the end.
Thinking about where the flash could have gone, it was probably just behind them, but even then, I think, you know, Mixwell definitely had the chance to. Just that right click is be punishing when you miss it.
ミラーリング、あれですよ、ミラーリング許されたのが多分、この動画を配信で見ていいのかっていうことだと思いますけど、多分、誰でもいけますよ、これ。一応聞いたけど、多分誰でもいける、この過去の。Now でやってるやつはまずいと思う。過去はまずいと思うってか聞いてないからわからん。過去のやつはいいって言われた。この大会の録画とか見るの。
I like seeing people utilize these flashes. I like people actually playing with intention. There's nothing worse instead of going, yep, flash
Spike
2,
planted.
yep, can't do anything about it. Cold Amenta. Oh, the timing on Bone Cold there could have been a problem, but actually it's Cold Amenta still powering forward in stock. So
Lots of damage done.
puts you in the coffin. You're right. It is a fair crack of damage. 2 of the Spectres get maintained over, but that's about it.
Come through, see actually if that becomes a factor in this next round at all,
Spike
because
planted.
obviously early round momentum wise, Ascend
Enemy remaining.
synonymous with getting that operator online. And here, obviously, with CNED on the stage, again, it's not out of the realms of possibility, but expect him not to lean on it as heavily as we traditionally see elsewhere.
Time to mobilize my
The
pack.
thing is, just coming back to this composition change again, buy round wise for G2, I want to see them really, really embrace this fight with territorial control and make use of the Sage pick, honestly. Again, with the Sova, you've got a couple of fact
このスモーク、ああ、そうね。犬入れてるよね。
They've got to find value from
犬なしで抜けていくのだと思った。
So a good example of Ascend just paying no respect to that possibility. Themselves up towards Garden. It's drawn a rotation as well, Lauren.
It has, and they're going to note that. I mean, you've seen Mixwell now. That's going to...
バインドはブリム多いよね。てか、ブリム強いと思うんだ。B ね。攻めで B 取った時に、ブリムがマジで強い。うわ、ここドライピーク。うわ、やばい。勇気やばいでしょ。ただちょっとその後もったいない。その後もったいないぞ、それ。めちゃくちゃもったいないや、今。4対2だったのに。生きったな。生きり詰めしてしまった。まあ仲良しとか関係なく下打ちしてますよ。
Unquestionable. 30 seconds left.
みんな
海外のプロの人はマジで仲良しと関係ないですよ。
The timing on this, who gets it? Oh, it's gonna be Killers. There it is. There's the timing. And there it was, slipping away from Mixwell.
普通のロラランクで下打ちしてますよ、プロ。
There it is. Killers hears it. Pops down. A little bit more of a time.
なんだったら、
Wait, Nookie.
普通に5対5の状況で1キル、ファーストキル取った後、その死体をブーって撃ってる選手結構います。まだ全然生きてるのに、敵も味方も。それぐらいしか考えてないって感じですね。さあ、両方瀕死同士。もう立ち回りゲー、これは。すげえ立ち回り。すげえ C ネット立ち回りすごい。すごいな。噛み合った。シックとかの配信、ダープいるじゃん、ダープ。DAPR。ダップルみたいな。選手は、もともと下打ち、世界大会でもやってたし、配信とかでも多分やってると思うけど、最近シックも見れてもね、普通に1キルした後、バララララって打ってます。したい。最初に。ファーストキル取った後、バララララって下打ちしてみる。結構あります。それで、そんなことやりつつも、ランクで、NA のランキングで1位とか2位とか行ったりとか、生きるが余裕はあるみたいな。そんなに深く考えてないな。ダーパー日本が過敏なだけ。うん。そうね。過敏ではあるよね。過敏国。いろいろと。わかんないけどね。
I need to see that big elevation from G2, and this is still early days for this roster in this current kind of, I guess, form, right? We haven't seen them play too much. They've looked wonderful. They've made the right adjustment to get to this point in comparison to where they got to before. There's no doubt about it. But at this point, I have to then also look at it and go, okay, what depth do they have here? You know, what is their...
海外選手、主体打ちブラジルの選手にしすぎて、そうダーパーね。DM で。殺害予告来たっていう話で。ダーパーね。で日本だけじゃないかもしれない。ブラジルはもっと過敏なのかもしれん。もしかしたら。この
slows
なんだろう。
alongside a cold Menta.
なんかよく切り抜きの動画とかあるで、海外選手の。とかもう NA の
already setting the tempo.
選手とかは結構寛容な人多いみたい。
It's been
なんか、そんなの
fast and furious,
いいよ
to
みた
say
い
the
な。
least.
翻訳動画とかの許可とかある。
Orange short and actually
まあ
trade out headshots.
気にする人もいるけど、
All seen it immediately.
ゆるい人多い。
The nade actually might reconfirm that kill, but
NA
just
いる。
damage through there. Okay.
日本はめっちゃ気にしそう。
Nearly let that
知ら
one
んけど
slip。through his fingers, but Nuki falls, and that's the green light.
Yeah, high flash, not so subtle. Wall goes in. Coldamenta gets his noggin.
ここの壁弱いんだな。
Bone cold. All too aware.
てか見てるんだな、しっかりとあそこ。
That's gonna deny it though. Can he get out?
まあ、これの音鳴ったからか。
Time. What? And Killers and Zeke still got the punish on two?
全然試合見てねえ
Oh,
や。
no.
見なきゃ。
They're retreating from the orbital strike as well. Vova, the last man standing here, already getting spammed up. Bone Cold gonna seal the deal.
アセンド
Spectre.、
アセンド、最初強っ。
That's
また
the thing,
5-0。
man. It's like Ascend just they have fantastic executes. You know, structure-wise, it always looks very good the way they build around such a powerful player like CNED. And then there's times where it's just like, okay, yeah, no, G2 have played this well. Like the orbital strike, you know, to deny it. The pinch comes through from Lamps, and Ascend is like, no, we're still gonna get these 2 kills. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I just can't
We're-
believe it. Like,
We're not gonna
they're
retreat.
just so aware. So aware. Like,
今まあ、そういう
it just
意味では平和よね。なんか、あの、
unreal, isn't it really? And this is one thing I want to highlight.
昔は無料 FPS とかやってた時とかは、
That as much as
なん
people
か、
meme out a little bit and whatever, you know, oh, CNED only good with the
なんだろう、
ult
全員とか、そういう人が多かったっていうわけじゃないけど、
I can because I'll be able to bring everything. It makes
まあ、
sense.
下
I
打
mean,
ちはもちろ
I
ん、そ
love
の
watching CNED
何
show some
めっちゃ
variety
煽る人た
and
ちだからね、
still
煽る集団が。
just as much of a threat.
今いないよね、煽る集団は。
Discussion as old as time in terms of Valorant
煽りクランみたいな。
when or if Jet would ever drop out of viability, right? And being versatile and being able to switch up and I think still lead the scoreboard, at least numbers wise. Nearly.
Almost at him. 5 HP there. Now. Zeke working on through. Still those Brimmy Boy smokes. Buying a bit of time for rotations, but keep in mind they are on. What round is this, Hypok? It's a Shiko. It's a Shiko, and it's not gone too badly for Kellogg's.
Amy.
Shiko's been shut down.
Shiko spam in the chat.
I have to get a Shiko emote actually. A Shiko emote would
Oh, you
bang.
should.
That would bang.
What would be in it?
Ooh.
Well, we'll have a think. We'll
Yeah.
you know, storyboard it out. We'll have a little, you know, play around. But a 2v3 with sheriffs in a Shiko,
Last
ults
player
are plenty,
standing.
could come through. Now, sadly, Nuki's been removed, so it is just Coldamenta now. There was a little bit of a chance and it's waning.
そうか、バイパーもいんのか。いや、ブリームはほんと強いんだよね、この。
Coldamenta. Oh,
設置も止めれるし、
oh, he's so good. Don't know what he can do about
これ
this, though.
地味にめちゃくちゃうざいよね、
What a
バインドの
great attempt from
もう
Coldamenta.
解除止め。
Obviously, credit to Bone Cold to play the time just
戻ってくる。
perfectly, but
時間が長え。
I love that. Literally, just like split second, the volley gets ahead of the wall. It's just like, well, okay, yeah.
ここ意外とリテイクに時間かかるマップな気がするんだよな。
yeah, CNED 92.
朝起きてから時間は待ってくれない。あっという間に過ぎて
And again, that's the other discussion, right? I brought this up the other day with people still saying Ascend are one-dimensional, and particularly talking about CNED being this one trick. I'm sorry, as far as I'm
よく知らなかったな、今。
flex onto another agent, you're still finding these favorable engagements.
このマップはファントムが多いと思いきや、アセンドはバンダルも3人いますね。
Say what you like. The man's a talent, no matter what agent he's on. No matter what weapon he's
ここ
using.
防衛オペレーター使わないんだね。
It's
まあ結構スモークで車線切られる手もある。
ignoring the fact of
Kind
the
of.
talent there. Oh god. Snooky. Just one and done. But that one was
今のも下打
CNED,
ち
so let's see what Ascend do without him now. Mixwell, Avova, Kellogg's.
しっかり
Making
把握
just
してるね。
over and Mixwell. Kellogg's got caught up, but Starkso backside. I mean, look at this.
なんかこのサイファーとかキルジョイ系入れない代わりにデュエリストが一人ラークしてることが多い。
It's like, well, look, I'll find him. I'll let you know where he is. Don't worry. Alt 2 away. Plenty of util left, but same can be said on the other side, and the timing is perfect for Killers. Again, so aware. of everything. This is the perfect way to play.
It
and
is.
I have to highlight this. This isn't an easy game by any account. Like, they are making G2 look like they don't have firepower. I would have argued these two teams have some of the
ここ以外でブリムの方がいいマッ
in
プありますか？むずい
Also,。I mean,
それはね、難しいですね。ここがいいと思う、俺は。
completely blind goes in.
個人的には。
It screams being rattled, right? Already, when you lose out some of these
ほんとモロトフの使い
again,
どころがめっちゃある。
on the back of nothing, you're willing to just throw a
このマップだけ。
showstopper down short and hope for the best. We didn't
まあ、あと
look
人によってはス
considered,
プリットもいい
there
とか言う人もいるよ
wasn't
ね。
anything built around that. You're right. this is
バインドほどじゃない気がする。
3 and up is the rule.
3 and up, okay.
That goes. Zeke, though, space taken. You post it. Ooh, Coldamenta, run, boy, run. I mean, Coldamenta is great with the Sheriff, too. You kind of want him on it. Kelox with a nice close flash. Bone Cold knows it's coming. Dips away, but Mixwell on the way. And Shiko not getting off to the perfect start. Gogo coming in, or the Tasmanian Tiger.
Tiger trinket.
We're having this discussion actually, and while the Shiko is
攻め方は深いよね。
I don't
この
think
壁の
they
炊
can
き方
get
とか
much
壁っていうか
considering both positions are
ワイパー
very
スクリーン
much noted. Zeke got a
シックスクリーンか
classic. Oh, there it is.
ここの炊き方するんだっていう
We're discussing,
この斜めなんだ
either just calling it a flash or what are they called again? Like
Guiding lights.
guiding light. I can't. I
Try-
play
try
Sky. I
round.
main
Try-
Sky.
try
設置しやすそう
Try around where
バイパー
you
と
say guiding lights instead of flashes.
It would make me feel
ブリムもいる
unwell.
し、セージもいるから。
He guiding lit his way out.
相場はいらないよね。
He
Okay,
guided.
yeah, boy. But also let's put this into context.
シーネットマジ強いよね。今回セージだけど、セージでももう強いもんめっちゃ。なんなん彼。めっちゃエイムがいいっていう風にも見えないんだけど、そんなに。いいんだろうけどさ。戦い方がうまいよね。体の出し方というか。
Just, you know, free for use. It's casual to them.
I've got
Go
your
on the
trail
rotation.
there.
Perfect here. Seeker's invested.
さあ、ちょっと読み外れてるな、実を。
Exactly where of oversiding and that he's the last
これちょっと
man
消すか。
on A site. Smoked off as well. Coldamenta actually going to get Nuki back
Nice.
up. And the counter Seeker's
Oh, the
invested.
molly bonking against the wall. Can't even do anything with it.
この壁炊きたいがために
Assault does, though, anything? I mean, gets Starkso down. That's
入れてるって感じだろうな、
good.
セージ。
On the Bova's back.
この壁めっちゃ大事もん
Viper ult
ね。
popped.
結
Smoke
局
goes in. Next layer of this defensive post plant.
バロラントサービス開始当初から使われているこの壁。そしてトキシックスクリーンは深いの。めっちゃこれ。このトキシックスクリーン深い。いや、使われてるのかこのトキシックスクリーンは。めっちゃ。わからない、あんまりバイパー。
Again, 9 in a row. I can't tell you a fake story here, folks. This is just Ascend striding through this. This is them playing exceedingly well, but gotta say it. It's not a great game to watch.
僕だけだと事故る普通に。うん。それが確実に事故らないようにできるのが
I would argue strolling, coasting.
Yeah.
Even there where G2 are like, okay guys, let's throw a couple
あれ時間稼がれると終わるから
try
ね。
and turn it back in our favor. Orbital strike
レイズのグレとか、ブリムのさっきのモロトフとか、モロトフも塞いでたけど、壁で。で、木越しに壁あんのが一番いいよね。壁割れてるかもわかんないさ。
Someone not press the right button.
さあちょっと、瞑想してる、瞑想してる。ヨン、ヨン。何何これ
There we go. Hit the button. I don't know.
This is
I mean,
brutal.
it's-
This is
it
brutal to
is.
watch, Lauren.
It is. It's hard. As I said,
お、
there's no
噛み合ってる
point
ブリム
in
が
don't need to lie to you guys
裏
at
取られ
home,
てるよ
as, you know, might as well. It's hard to cast a game like this because
ブリ
G2
ムちゃんと武器持ってるから
have so little
2キルぐらい取られる可能性ある
available to them
ただそっち行っちゃった
I'd love to
そっ
see
ち行っちゃったか
an attack I'd love to see
え
a
そっち
little
行っちゃう
more
の
approach this, but
そっ
maybe
ち
this
行っ
is
ちゃう
it.
の
Maybe they don't
なしで
have
しょ
that next step to go to yet. And that's okay. They are still relatively early on in their kind of, I guess, progress. But Bone Cold perfectly
なんかあんま意味なくね
when they'd want to hit those
そっちまで回っ
rotations,
ちゃ
the
ったら
spike goes down. Now this should be a kill. It is. Coldamenta will get himself a
Judgmenta.
rifle. But again, Ascend are playing a perfect approach to this, and it's gorgeous to watch. But without the fight back, without the adaptation, without that next level coming out from G2, that's all it's gonna be at this point.
Yeah, I angry. Of over now. Behind the wall on short, we'll find Killes. Comes to Coldmetry, we'll actually find another one as well. And Starzo falls here. Zeke,
許可関係って俺、概要欄に書いてあるよね。
too late in the day. Oh, that's it. The mod is perfect. He can't
Wow.
even swing round to fire off the showstopper.
誰か今度からコメント来て教えてあげてください。
They get the round win. It's a little unorthodox. I think victims of complacency on the side of Ascend there.
Yes.
弟は今バイタリティでプロしてますね。あ、そうなんだ、シーネットの弟。
There we go. Alright, it's comeback time. We're gonna cast it like it's the, I don't know, Reykjavik
I'm sitting up.
finals.
I'm sitting up.
Alright, shake it off.
Here we go.
Look at that. Shouldn't
Precision.
use that line. Yeah, gorgeous. Right, back into this. The buy is not ideal. Kellogg's can be down to just the sheriff, but beyond that, okay, Guardian out for mix.
弟の方が強いよね、だいたいこういうさ、スポーツ選手もそうだけど。でもシーネットは弟じゃない方が強いのか。シーネットも弟なのか、実は。ミックスでバレてる。ああ、きついね。やっぱスカイいるだけで圧力になるよね。強い。スカイは壊れてると思います。けど、直しないでほしい。使いたいから。使ってて気持ちいいし、使いたいからな、ふたしないでほしい。こんななんかランクとかでやりやすいキャラない。いろいろできる。
After showing a little bit of presence, a couple of rounds, G2 decide to stack two up there. The slow orb is absolute perfection. Oh, we'll actually get back onto Killes there, but Starzo.
Nice.
Contingency in place. Gets traded out. Coldamenta, last man standing. Now CNED will clean up for his third.
やっぱ打ち合いが強いわ、シーネット。G2 打ち合いで負けてるイメージない？コルダメンタとかめっちゃ打ち合い負けてるイメージあるわ。ミックスより0-11やん。0-11やん。どうしたミックスより。大会で0-11はもう絶望だろうな。だいぶ。IQ 下がるからな、やっぱ0-11とかまでいっちゃったら。絶対 IQ 下がる。キル取らなきゃってなっちゃう。しかも G2 みたいなチームだったらなおさらでしょ。いや、強えけど。あ、いてやっぱシーネットなんよな。でもシーネット死んじゃった。燃えちゃった。ミックス L、1キルした。この1キルでかいぞ。彼にとっては。彼にとってはその1キルは偉大な1キルだった。
You can see actually no smokes available for Bone Cold. Both of them invested here. And triple actually the swing from above.
おー、ちょっともったいないよね、出方が今。なんか左向きながら出てたことない今。大会だからしょうがないってのはあるけどさ。ショート見てるところから左向きながら出てたのがちょっともったいない気がする。シーネット、セイジで17キル5です。こいつは何者なのか人なのか怪物なのか FPS モンスターシーネット。
Sorry, you want me to sell the comeback? I'm supposed to be the flat and boring guy. You're the one that
Valorant
you're the one that people get on board with the energy. I'm calling it as I see it. G2 have to move mountains to get back into this game. Ascend now just have everything in their favor. Momentum, the psychological.
スモークキャラはね、攻めではね、結構後ろの方いるし、最後一人残されたら何もできないってことよくあるから、攻めでキル取りにくくなる。そのキャラは。あ、でも今から攻めだった。今から攻めだった。さっきまで守りだった。
Gives them a little bit of a funnel in. If anything, encouraging G2's next step. Don't worry about it. G2 have this up the, up the sleeve. CNED did find Kellogg's, but don't worry. It was what happened next that really changed how.
この縦壁よくシーネ叩きますね。
脱毛したくて勇気出してきたけど、
ちょっと
担当が可愛すぎる。
This is a really weird side take, and it literally cannot. Wait, look at this angle from CNED. It's
This
so
wall.
nasty.
I was just about to comment on this wall being like a little offset from Garden, but it allows him to hop on and off because of the wood. And again, now they can set up a closer crossfire between Zeke and Starzo. What a
Not over
cheeky
yet,
little
though.
pistol round.
It's not over yet. The flash confirms there's still players here. The second one he might go off. Yeah, he does. Turns it, goes in.
Oh my
Starzo.
これ避けれんよ。
It's the perfect play on Sky, and now it's
浮いと
down
る。
to Mixwell's hands, but
浮きクラシックがあるね。
this could be the start of it. As a 1v1 to find, he just adjusts in time. It's not pretty, but he'll
ミ
take
ック
it.
ス L。
Gonna take that gun too. No,
まあしょうがない。
doesn't happen. Killer's found him. I was ready to sell you it. I really was. I was all on board. You got the pistol. I was gonna full commit for you.
Yeah.
The 12 to 1. I'm off the train.
なんでエイム強者って聖ジ使うんですか？
The wall goes up. G2, they almost just freeze, right? They're like, what is this wall? What do we do to get past it?
まあなんだかんだ他のキャラクターと比べて打ち合いに行けるからかな、攻めの時に。ソーバみたいなキャラクターって打ち合いにあんまいけないんだよ、攻めは。守りもそんないけないんだよ。だからソーバは多分あんま使われないでしょ。で、スモークキャラもスモーク炊くのが結構あるから、忙しいから打ち合いにあんまいけないっていう。特にこういうチーム戦だとね。
This is looking like steel last night. Ready to go. Oh gosh, this is...
Everything flying out of that smoke.
Yeah, it's just like that smoke didn't seem very friendly. Cordamenta though, I like these re-aggressing on this, and Kellogg's did find killers. Just one now remains. Starkso done with...
Okay.
There it is. 2 on the board for G2.
Alright. Just need to do that again 10 times. Right? I guess. I mean... It's gonna be so difficult. Again, comebacks in Valorant with just the momentum and...
Oh, Hypok, I've realised something.
Okay, what
This
have
is
you
great.
just...
Now,
Go
the
on.
one thing about G2, right? Some of the bangers they come out with. Like, I like it when G2 win, but when they lose...
まあブリムは、
So keep eyes on the
だからこの構成だとブリムとバイパ
You've got a 12-2 potential on your
ーは
hands.
あんま戦い、まあいけるか。スモーク炊いてからいけるけど、
G2 on route and the 3-play stack towards long. Kind of a weird switch.
素で戦いやすいな。
Blind is a bad, but still
聖ジよね。
flying. So, what?
攻め守り。
Starkso just got 2 out of that and now maybe gets a third. How is he still
聖
alive?
ジのやつがキルできたら蘇生もできるじゃん。
Classic, by the way. That was a classic, by the way.
強かった。
With a
強かっ
sheriff,
た。
we'll swing through and we'll
さあ続いて
I guess tie the bow on a map 2 with Starzo celebrating.
いきます。マップ3アセント。
Absolutely love it, but they got to find value and they got to find value early, Lauren.
これ G2 勝つのかな
I'm with you.
1マップ取られてなかったっ
I
け
lean towards the sky over the breach as well, but sometimes it's the player who's on it rather than the agent itself. We'll have to wait and see as
サテライトオフィスベトナム
contest
オフ
towards
ショア
the
開
side, or
発
maybe not so much. Ascend have to
でしょう。
respect this. Sights taken, spikes down.
Yeah, actually going to commit to just full-on 5v5 retake scenario here. Utility trade-off probably in favor of Ascend right now as they swing on through. CNED and Bone Cold fire kills. Kellogg's will respond. Actually will find a second as well, but the numbers dwindling and Mixwell, last man standing, will attempt the flash
Good
out.
bot flash.
But the second! Oh, the second just slips away from him with a frenzy.
There's still a chance. It's so slim, but there's still a chance. 9 bullets. They don't know where he is. He gets away with another. And now the 1v1 Mixwell tries to get it, and he does.
わお。
Getting G2 back into things. That's the Mixwell you need to be seeing if you want
よく頑張っ
G2
たな。
to do well. That could be an instigator, maybe the spark to light the
この試合やばかっ
flames,
た。
because they needed something. The entirety of Ascend turned up. Look at them. Every single one of them. Popping in a kill or two, but Mixwell finding 3 is massive.
The second one, I mean, when he actually pop flashed out of that smoke, I thought, yeah, okay, no, it's done. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. But for a second, Ascend lose track of Mixwell. I think that's Bone Cold.
ああ、人って吹っ切れたらこんなに強いのかと思わされてしまう。
He doesn't want to peek for that information. He
ってことはミックスいるってことかな。
come down and help him out.
ミックスで今回スカイですね。まあバイパー動きづらいからね。
Opening, Mixwell slips behind Gen.
一方でアセンドは構成が
Onto A side from G2 is going to be on
不思議だね。
No
アストラが入ってる。
whatsoever here, and Kellogg's will pick up a freebie in the form of Zeke. Stars,
Oh,
so
man,
we'll
China.
actually trade it out. We do a
I feel as
4v4.
though Kellogg's could have done with a bit of farming there. Get that confidence back up, start feeling
absolutely.
out
Like
the game.
this.
Nuki though,
ルキーが強いぞ。
we'll let him have a bit of it.
Oh.
Oh, and there it is. Leave it in the
取られ
end.
た。
Goldman comes in like, all right, buddo, don't worry, I'll help you. But again, we need some confidence boosters for this side, and for someone like Kellogg's as well, I don't know him as a
シーレットの弟座右なのそんなことないでしょ。絶対違うでしょ。絶対違うよ。全然似てないもん。
Under the belt can really help you out. They can make you just feel like, okay, I got it. All right, there's what I'm looking for. There's a rhythm. Also, you know, obviously,
明日の VCT の勝利予想して。どこ対どこ
having your fun, having your way with it. But at this point, let's look at the bike going back in as well.
アストラ
Relatively reserved coming through from
は
G2,
ね、
but we
やっ
have
ぱ
to
弱
look
くな
at
ったよ
rifles
ね。
on the other side. Plenty. This is a big one now. If G2
どう考えても
wants
弱くな
to
ったよ
consider the real deal in pulling off a bit of a turnaround, it's got to start in the gun round, which is now.
Placing swarm
So it's
grenade.
probably see
Swarm grenade
maybe a little more emphasis on
正直アストラぐらい、前のアストラに他の目キャラを合わせるべきだと俺は思うけ
it's
ど。
up close and personal, and the Aldrone going to come out now. CNED will actually open things up and find that kill. Aldrone comes through. Now the important thing to note, Keyless wasn't initially noted here.
Now I like the Seekers in combination with the Raze utility there, just keeps them busy. You can't do both and deal with a swing at the same time. The Bone Cold on the side missed the first shot, but adjusted
めっちゃ広告出てくる。
over, but overwhelmed in the end by Coldamenta. And now the 2v3. It's not pretty for G2. They're looking battered and bruised, the walking wounded. CNED desperate to claw at them, and he does. Which 2, but decent damage, but not the round.
3 will survive. There's 3 rifles carried across, and I think actually, if I'm not mistaken, CNED won off his ultimate as well. So the possibility really spread the wealth, share the wealth. You know, like I said, just the Aldrone comes through and Keyless goes completely unnoticed. I think it's on the back of CNED finding that opening pick onto Kellogg's that desperately looking for the other side of that crossfire, and actually it was almost a bait there for CNED to take first contact over Keyless. G2 gonna come back through. Yeah, everything online except for Kellogg's actually in terms of weaponry, so expect them to fight for this orb.
さあ、こっから
You
か
can。see already
Scary
Zeke set up actually with the gravity well to prevent just this. So Kellogg's gets oh, that didn't go the right way.
There we go.
今回 G2 勢いあるんで。
That's a lot of investment of utility put down to allow that to come through. So they've facilitated this with intention. So Kellogg's needs to find some value for it, but you can already see the dispersion of Ascend. They've kind of fallen away from A, leaving the double stack towards, I believe, Heaven, just kind of towards that corner box. But a good read on the other side to lean back through middle, but on the other side is still going to be CNED looking to linger through that smoke. And there we go. Kellogg's in towards the side spot. Swan gets it. Okay, Killer's down.
このジェットがさ、
And available for
めっちゃ
business.
飛んできた
They
時
should be able to
弾めちゃくちゃ当てにくいん
I'm still considering
だけど、もっと当てやすくなんないかな。
She can never write him out of a
これ
round.
ずるいわ。
He's found Kellogg's already.
プロでも当てれんでしょ、あれ、ちゃんと。
Come back through and look at actually
安定しては。
tools they've got. Mixo gonna play this aggressively, but Zeke in
場所分かってるのに当てれないんだよな、あれ。
な
なんか飛んでる時体が変な形になるから。
Boxed onto site here, except for Nuki on lane. He's got to be the power
ただでさえ
4D2, look at that.
上下左右動けるのに。
Stars over the trade.
player standing.
No, Coldamenta. This has to be big. This has to work for you. He's trying to avoid detection from one side. Maybe give himself another 1v1. Not allowed. Ascend using the numbers well. Playing the buddy system to perfection. And I thought maybe that swing towards CT could have done it, but really committed on trying to find that second player rather than dipping back around if he could.
Yeah, I think he absolutely nailed it. You're right. There's a chance there for him to, for sure, find the second, but it's a toss-up, right? Especially when he's up on lane there again to commit one extra player towards site.
1 second, peeps.
Fortunately, I don't think
gotta
anybody
visit
really
the
able to
Astros place
capitalize
with
on
stars.
him swinging out and finding that first. Now, G2 reset temporarily in a Shiko round in response.
We'll start working on merch. soon.
アセンドはやっぱでも個々強いよ
Get
ね
it。on a hoodie, get it on a hat.
ちゃんと。
All of it. All the goodies. Oh, stings, doesn't it? And now here comes the follow-up. Actually, it's called a Menta popping it to try and maybe allow them in. Interesting use of ult at this point.
わーお、これはどうしようも
Okay,
ない。
okay, that's sight now gone. They've really got a nice little piece ready for this, it looks like.
よく
But
聞いた。
rotations are in. Stark, so if he can just live, which it looks like, he's going to be noted over.
What the-
Can live now, 26 HP, and okay. Bob got dealt with. Nuki though takes the fight. Couldn't
Nuki
find a second.
aim強い
The
な。
follow-up's going to evade him, but Bone Cold blind as it. Okay, Mixwell got him. Okay, okay.
Oh.
Kellogg's is here too. Hello. That It's gorgeous from G2. They needed this, and now CNED.
いや、勢いが強いから、勢い強くなったらやっぱ強いな。
Mixwell closing the gap, takes the frag, and they get the round. Brilliant, thrifty work.
I'm loving this switch out, and again, it's on the back of Mixwell being able to create these openings on Sky. Now, it's something that it addressed in the other compositions. There wasn't really anything to enable.
スモークキャラいてもいなくても変わらない夜と違って、いてもいなくても変わらない夜と違って、必須だからびっくり出てるだけなのか。そう、そうなんだよね。必須だから。一応エリア取るために必須っちゃ必須だから、入れてるっていう。入れることになってる。それを、大会だったらそれいいけどさ、大会だけだったら、大会だけのゲームだったら。ね、スモークはもう全員1個ずつとか、もう炊けるようにしてて、もうめのスモークみたいな感じで炊けるようにしてて、みんな、おのおの、スモーク以外のスキルも使えるようにしたらいいじゃん。何スモークキャラって。絶対さ、他のゲームとかでもさ、なんか、俺はグレーは使わない、グレーとフラッシュは使わないけど、スモークだけは大好きだぜみたいな人って全然いないでしょ。スモーク大好きマンってあんまいないと思うんだけど。打ち合い好き、わかる。まあ、フラッシュ好き、まあまあまあわかる。グレネード好き、まあわかる。スモーク好きは他ゲーだと多分ほとんどいないと思うんだけど。
This tempo change is fantastic for G2, but they need to stay composed in scenarios like this if they want to build on the early successes in this half. Second there.
Radiant players have a 22.2 headshot percentage. Find yours
on
the Blitz app. Track your performance and see what areas you need.
Skip.
Oh, it's horrible. It's awkward. It's not very pleasant, is it? There we go. So found in the end, but 3 rifles cost.
Hey.
And again, you want to build money in these rounds. That I don't feel it should have been even anywhere near that dangerous.
No. Looking at it, some positives behind it. The Bladestorm online, the Showstopper available.
Yep.
You know, Nuki and Kellogg's have already had a much better start to this map than
夜はね、
the previous. So potential to ride a couple
どうなんだろうね。プロレベルなんかわかんないけど、普通にノラだとちゃんと使えてれば強いと思うけどね。難易度高いと思う、めっちゃ。
Again, I've been having this discussion a few times. We do
バインドとかだと強い。
creeping back into some
特に。
compositions. You got to look for the value on defense in my eyes. And
なんか、テレポートの、オーブみたいなやつが、ちょっと、結構離れてたら見えなくなってからはちょっと強くなった気がするけど。
And now Killer's just got caught, so it was a nice idea, but a weird switcheroo. If they don't find value from this with Zeke and CNED doing some weird stuff.
That was... Again, I love the set pieces. Unfortunately, absolutely nobody is on that side of the map. It's actually an all-in piece onto B from G2. They're all stacked up outside B main and lobby. Now Mixwell and Coldamenta able to play very far away from site, make it even more difficult for Ascend to come back in, unless they can find...
If they can just
if they can find this 3v2 on site, this is massive.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
一発撃った。
You don't know how close that was. Good trade for Zeke again, still keeping this in the realm of possibility.
今ちゃんと止まれて当たってたんじゃない？頭。どうになったか？
into a 2v2, but the two players just have to play the time. I don't know if there's much left of it.
まあテレポーターないマップでもね、夜ね、意外と、いや、うまく使えないんだと思う、みんな。そういう、なんか、これが強いよみたいな動画もないしね。
See here what impact that will have. The knock-on effect of a round like that. You see Kellogg's going to ride this through now. Wants to get that operator online potentially. Reading into a lesser buy on the side of Ascend. And again, I can say stars align. Can't even really credit them dealing too well with that set piece of Kellogg's. Yeah, right up in the face here. This is...
Go on, Kellogg's, have a bit of it.
So much for him to deal with to escape through there.
Avova's just... the combo of utility just absolutely shattering Avova. Now, Spike to be planted, 4 still alive, danger to be had. Starkto's got a right. Killers doesn't need one apparently, he's got a classic kill on the case. And now wants a bit more, he's feeling himself a right to be doing it. Go on.
なんだこのなんだこのラウンド。
I was feeling it for you.
So yeah, Kellogg's has just made a comment that Coldamenta was
コミュニケーションエラーがすぎる。
cracking. It's the first time I've seen him smile all day, so we can talk about positives. Time out.
Time out.
No doubt this is coming.
Now then.
Did
The pacey pieces from G2
Yeah.
though are going to be hard to deal with an op.
They are indeed, and I think that's the sort of adjustment that would be required. But again, here, just not interested in
ブリーズ
anything
か。
else.
ブリーズより強いかな
It's
わかんない、そ
all
れ。
in. It's all in on B main here.
Yeah, this is pace again. It's a really good way to kind of neutralize an operator player. It does make it a little trickier, but let's see what CNED can do. I mean, he does tend to
シ
go
ネッ
against
トが飛び出すけど
slightly.
おー早すぎて
Just got ripped.
倒せんかったぞ。後ろ取ったのに
Does it? But he's still alive.
早すぎて倒せん。
That's enough for him.
He's so damn quick. Kellogg's even gets to like the worst spot that you have to deal with when you're swinging out of that market smoke, and he still comes out, finds Nuki, and gets away.
じゃあもうちょっとしっかり見ていこう。
And actually, I mean, purchase-wise, Mixwell, Coldamenta sat above 1K. G2 right back on it.
勢い大事よ。やっぱ結局ピークする側が強いから。有利なポジ取っててもピークする側と、まあ、どっこいどっこいか
See each other here. What are you gonna do about it? Aldrin's
ピーク
great.
する側が強いぐらいに
Look at this pace.
思える
I wanna keep being
これゲーム
aggressive
だ
on
から
this,
ね。
but Bone Cold this time just gonna take a bit of the flash there, but now he is fully blind.
いや、フラッシュめっちゃ刺さっとるな。
Takes the fight.
ミックスよりスカイ上手くねっていうか。
Finally gets pinched by Nuki, so we're left in a 1v2. It's doable. It's just not easy. Just about gets away. Let's take a little
さっきからめっちゃフラッシュ当ててる気が
damage
するわ。プロレベルになると結構避けられると思うんだけど、フラッシュ。
It's going to opt to invest the
あの、
lockdown here. It's going to
耐えてくるの
fight for the time being. That's
分かって
waiting
て
for this crossback
もう
from
フラッシュ当たんない位置で待ってるとか
Mixwell
してる気が
wise
するん
to
だよ。
it. That's a big tool removed from Ascend here, and I respect it. I respect it. Still going for rounds like that to try and recover this half. Kellogg's just absolutely no respect to this setup here. Unfortunately, neither of them able to turn that second flash from Mixwell. Bone Cold and Zeke dealt with. I mean, actually, even if they trade out 2 for 2 there, that round gets stopped in its tracks for G2.
そうか、2個目だったから警戒しなかったのか。
Anti-ecos generally do tend to lean this way as well for G2, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was more of a stack up against it, but it's just the two players towards the back of sight. A little bit of a, not necessarily a set piece,
Wow.
but maybe a considered piece in mind. Zeke's still going to try and take the attention. Bone Cold with the swing towards Avova. It shouldn't become too much of a threat. There it is. So
Sa CNED
this is
の
where the problems begin.
去年当たんなかった。
And doesn't get what he wanted from that. High flash comes out, lets it go astray, gives him a little bit of respite towards a sight. Judge
What
not
the-
gonna get it, and now
わお。
pardon me.
No, no, no.
He's got a rifle.
No, no, no.
No.
フィニッシュだと両方
You。don't win this. You don't win this.
Yeah.
You don't win this. Okay.
さすがにな。
G2 needs Mixwell here, and you know what? He stepped up from the previous map to now. This is night and day, and this is exactly what they needed.
Absolutely is, and I gotta say as well, Kellogg's having a
今度はア
absolute
ブバーがゼロキルやわ。
new lease of life, you could say.
ただ木キャラ
into this
スモーク焚いてるだけ
match.
で
It almost feels
何もすることないん
like
だな。
the locker room talk was,
勝ってるしね。
hey, we know that meme floating about, but can you add a few more W key binds? Because he is, he's literally on site within the first 5 seconds. Every single, again, look at the minimap. It's all in for G2.
Yeah, but they don't get punished because the pace is quick. So if they don't feel as though there's
映画止まんないみたいな感じだな。
down, they're gonna keep doing this, and Kellogg's is feeling himself. He's gonna go in and only get one this time. Good work though to find Bone Cold.
うわ、でも止まったぞ、割
Does
と。
even catch Nuki on the way down. CNED Z, they're making this costly.
さあ
They're
ここの
not allowing
お
them to get through this
止まったね。
time. Finally, they close the door. But G2 ran through that all too often.
Switching sides.
And this is the terrifying thing, right? Is that the firepower for G2 when they opt to just run it down like that. It took Ascend a couple of rounds to kind of get their, get a hold of at least some of the early round engagements. But when a team's willing to do it, I mean, after you win the first 4 rounds, right, you have that financial buffer to be able to say, guys, let's just keep doing it, right? Like Ascend at one point they have to say, guys, like we lose this round, we are broke. And when you're like 5 rounds behind, that's such a pressure on the way that you want to play and all the considerations you have to make if a team is just charging at you. And it looks like they're going to do the same thing in a pistol round.
I see 4 players. I guess you could argue for. Oh, they're all facing it. It's like the old VP on train, I guess. That's a reference from a long time ago. But at this point, I don't want to say it's worked completely. It got them the first kill. Now, what happens from now on is completely different, right? This is where it gets a little bit trickier. Kellogg's could do
ハンドガンラウンドが一番なんかエイムゲーだよね。このゲーム。まあ、エイムなのか、飛び出し方なのかはちょっと微妙なところだけど。個人技ゲーよね。スキルも少ないし。
Gorgeous. Again, Starkso, this man is just the immovable object at this point.
We'll send
8-5
strike back with the pistol round here in the second half. Now the thing is, if G2 attempt, I guess, the same ethos on defense here.
Enemy remaining.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely clapped. That was like one of the most satisfying right clicks I've ever seen.
absolutely. So nasty, isn't it?
そうか、アセンド側はなんかレイズとかがいないから、
More around it though, and
結構 A 止めづらかったんだな。
It will be Kellogg's. He does get found this time.
キルジョイぐらいか止めれるスキル。
Flash through for Mixwell? Yeah.
止めれるスキル大事ね。やっぱり足止めでもできれば。
All of that going on. So well played to him to keep that in the back of his mind.
I've had just like a little adjustment there to play anti-flash on the smoke. Little things you should not be getting that one, but you did. 24 HP. The 4th on the round.
Avova's has Mixwell's curse just transferred? Oh.
Again, no. I talked about, you know, the roles that somebody played at the start of the show. When you play the way G2 did on attack, you don't need an anchor. Your anchor
やっぱ体で合わせてるね。
any playtime. Like,
キャラコンで。
It's look. The main thing is if you're still winning the rounds and it's not becoming a problem necessarily, it's fine. I think
サテライトオフィスベトナムやたらと出てくる。
if you're potentially being quote unquote the weak link on this side, you can be exploited. I don't think that's the case yet at all. However, this is a stack they've walked into and seen.
わお、強い。やっぱエイム強えな。ミュッキー。シェリフとかめっちゃ当ててるイメージある。シーレットはシェリフじゃないんだよな、あんまり。普通の武器が強い。強い武器が。
4 HP though.
The sheriff can still do pretty well. You don't want an extended fight. There goes the dog. Oh, this.
この上も比べつ。
They killed him. Okay.
Wow.
Golden Mentor, the speed on it as soon as he picked up the pace. Well done. Caught by the dog anyway.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
ギリ犬
Horrific.
当たってたからよかったけど、犬当たってなかったら食らっちゃったな。
On the dog coming through. That could have been disastrous there.
Yeah.
これってどこで配信してますか？これは過去のやつですよ。
At least now, I mean, it comes down to a purchase. Obviously, I think it was just a hero Spectre in the hands of Over and still somewhat of a.
このゲームは体で合わせるの強いよ。強い。プロもみんな体で合わせてる人多い。全部が体じゃないよ。全部が体じゃないけど、体も組み合わせてる。
Yeah, Kellogg's on his. I want to see how he looks on the operator too.
Take flight.
Ascend beginning there.
だから左右にずっと動いてるでしょ。
Step out if they fancy it, but
待つ時とかも。
would still be an issue, and it may be the double stack there. Mix one and a Vova.
微調整するために。
Playing off the back of that
ほらほら、
Sky Flash.
こうやって左右に動いてるでしょ。
But they're still watching the push here. Killers be tested, and that's not an angle you want to step around to. Kellogg's does.
連射してる時に左右動くのは弱いけどね。
Or not. Very close on that.
最初の 2,3 発強いめっちゃ。
Onto the peak, and you can see the utility exchange thus far.
移動速度がある程度で遅かったら結構ストッピングの逆キーやった時にまっすぐ飛ぶんだよな、多分。
Killes will fall. To ascend. Let's try and find something elsewhere, and they will do just that.
They've punished a rotation.
Do indeed.
If they get the read right, I want to see what they get out of this. If they still try and continue towards A, or looking at middle, Zeke might get caught off guard here. Yeah, just walking through the smoke. They didn't expect Kodamenta to walk that without a flash or any sort of instigating element. And now, Starkso, CNED, Bone Cold. And CNED looking to go into save mode here. G2 looking like double digits could be on the board. We might have a game on our hands. Maybe.
30 seconds
One of the maps that could have been it, and it ain't over yet.
Right.
Is Bone Cold going to prove exactly that?
1v3.
Spike still to hand. It was a 1v4, now 1v3. Plenty of util to play with. 2 players towards heaven, 1 towards short. He wants a freebie. Let's see if he can get a pick from this. Flash comes up, gives him the angle to play with. Double face back in from G2. Not going to be leaving anything unchecked now.
It's so awkward as well to hop up on both of those boxes from the flash.
Yep.
This is potentially G2 on 11, because I think there was maybe a little spread across the economy of Ascend, but it definitely wasn't comfortable. I'd be very surprised if they can muster together a purchase here. Could be the pivotal round for G. Yeah, look at it. It's not pretty at all. CNED on the Bladestorm. They had the Rolling Thunder as well. Bone Cold. Starzo, Zeke, Keyless, all very close to their ultimates, but this is a big round here.
It is. How deep they're sitting on this as well.
Yeah,
One
I
player
think
on B.
G2 reading it perfectly. They're like, we don't want to give you any of these stupid openings.
Nope.
Looking at stupid openings.
Yeah, CNED going to take so much space off the back of that. Have a quick look towards
She
side to make sure
doesn't
it
know.
seems clear. Yeah, no worries, boys. Bring that spike on in. Careful now. Actually going to take a bit of damage, but keep moving around. Stay mobile, not stay towards the site itself. Killer's going to be played in. Potentially no. Head gets Chet. Mixwell puts him down.
シネットが鍵だろこれ。でも武器的に。 さあ回避されてる。 おワンチャンス。ないな。今当たんないんだ最後。ウルト。 当たったけど耐えたのか
That's tough. It's always so difficult to be the Sova in that scenario where you sat back with the Hunter's Fury and you're faced with that potential is actually massive for G2. Because I would argue that, Ascend, they don't come back through to peak the adjustment.
よし。
See here is everything on the line for Ascend. Operator in the hands of CNED. Zeke with the Cosmic Divide. Killes one away from the lockdown as well. The way these rounds have played out, don't expect to see an execution built around that. It's a little different than what we've seen. Actually, Nuki going to send through the paint shell here. He's the only person really holding down the fort on B. The Aldrone through mid from Kodamenta. Going to give him an opportunity to reset now into market.
オペレーターで行くのねここ。2番目をオペレーターで行くっていう。いやこのフラッシュね。これが逆に使われてるよね壁が。アストラに対してスカイはもうほんとアストラのウルトってスカイあったらもうダメよね。意味なくなっちゃう完全に。ダメすぎるこれ。
It'll be not an awful lot for Ascend to bring into this one. 2 rifles at least, 3 Spectres. And that lockdown now available. Bone Cold 1 off the Rolling Thunder once again, but nothing else to do for them.
Here.
G2 are ready to. They're going to play this proactively as well. I love this.
Let's see what it looks like, Kellogg's. That's not a pretty angle, but he still gets away with murder, finding Bone Cold, but a quick trade for CNED, and he wants to keep going forward now. The KJ ult is down, and Mixwell
もうわかんないよこれ。どここれ。これどこあヘブンね。
No one detained at the moment. Sets him up, knocks him down. Killes is on his back, and you can see Starkso and Zeke You gotta do something big here if you want to have a game changer, but that's not bad actually. Starkso getting aggressive off the back of that. That's gonna work out pretty nicely. Zeke gonna find another Starkso's with him. This is something else.
ほら、今のとかも体で合わせてる感じよ。これは
G2
G2 が勝ったね。なんか今の試合全然集中して見てなかったわ。あと1個は、ヘイブン。
Was this one map wonder from G2 or we get a little more? Already pressure being shown by G2 here, but a default being held by Ascendant.
可愛いって正義でしょ。魔法少女×RPG。消すぞ。
The flash couldn't have been better. Mixwell catches so many, but they do manage to fight back in, and now caught again. You're going to see so many
詰まっとった。
Kellogg's still going to be able to
攻めが焦んのね。
one for his trouble, which is Bone Cold. Can't convert anymore, and now the numbers can be pretty substantial. And Cold Dementor slowly works his way over. That was, it wasn't a complete stack, but 4 players are basically on this side. He's going to be able to find one. Turret should give him some cover to play with here. Maybe a step in on the second. Spots out another. There's a swing from the side. Good work from Cold Dementor.
ただ HP24 瀕死ってバレたこのゲームな。瀕死ってバレたらもう本当にこのゲーム。
Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there for Zeke to slip back behind Defo on the back of the turret's contact, but gets recovered nonetheless. And the interesting thing here is, again, we can talk about playstyle and these kind of all-in pieces on defense. At least I'm talking about particularly that pistol round flash from Mixwell, and then a little bit of an overcommitment to stop Ascend getting up C long, right? Bodies weren't in place to, you know, fight fire with fire as we saw previously on Ascent at least, and kind of, yeah, we'll just play numbers. We will play for the
体で合わせるのが何が強いかって動けることなんよね。エイムが完璧すぎると、エイム先あっちゃったらもうそれ以上動けないから、なんて言うんだろう。結局ストッピング決まった時に敵にエイム合ってないといけないから、なんて言うんだろうな。
Smattering of utility, not a great deal. Flash towards long doesn't quite go deep enough to find Kellogg's.
先にエイムあってもあんま意味ないっていう。体で合わせてストッピングでの時に敵にエイムが合うみたいな感じになると、止まった瞬間に初段が決まりやすくなるから強い。
Off the back of just not curving that flash deep enough to be able to get past that long kind of push up on the wall. He can hold this. Oh, he's finally going to be kind of forced away from it. Spike's been filtered back through. I think it's an annoying position to try and dig him out of. Starkso having to loop all the way back.
あ、ただショートから回られた。ショートから回られた。しかも取ってるここ。リードを取ってる。
The Zeke and Starzo played that so well, and it's the risk management, right? They allow him to come through, find the second.
いいタイミングで取り出したな。
Space on site. Avova completely clueless to the fact that they could be there, and they bring this back to a 3v3.
もうウルト溜まってる。
Cold. They keep finding him. Cold Dementor's gone down. It's Nuki and Mixwell. See if this flash is going to keep them both tamed.
One enemy remaining.
Bone Cold finds Nuki. Now it's just Mixwell. 1v3. Yeah, he's off. He's off ski away from that one.
最初にキルは良かったけどな。
30 seconds till his next flash. No time on that. And that rifle does get maintained by Bone Cold now.
For an attempt to do a little more damage, but I don't think it's going to come about. And actually going to opt to hold on to this. Then did lose out on the armor. Going to make this.
マウス動かさずに移動キーで合わせるってことですか？いや、マウスは動かします。なんて言うんだろう。体で合わせるっていうよりは、そのうち多分動画になると思うけど、体で合わせるっていうよりは、ストッピングが止まった瞬間がこのゲームで最速で倒せるタイミングやん。だから、止まったタイミングに合うようにしないといけないというか、先エイムしちゃったら、その後、基本的に移動しながら交戦するわけだから、先にエイムがあって、その後ストッピングしてってなっちゃうと、ストッピングして、じゃあ初段撃てるぞっていうタイミングになった時に、エイムずれちゃってることになっちゃうから、最終的に体の方がいい。最後の微調整みたいな。まあ微調整っていうか、まあ、それも 手は動かすんだろうけど、ちょびっ
Lean
とね、
towards
多分。
C from G2 with their lighter investment, of course. Still some odds and ends with Mixwell, so he's not particularly badly situated. I'm just going to sit himself towards that C site as well. Kellogg's going to get another glimpse here.
ストッピングより先にエイムしてて見ないですよ。そうなんですよ。
Couldn't quite get away either. CNED's going to find him.
これは意味ないんですよ。
Nothing yet coming for him. There it is.
で、このゲーム移動が強いから、キャラクター細くてね。このゲームは、球当てに行くのに、多分キャラ細いから、横にというか。もっとごついんよ、結構いろんなゲーム。
Now Vova had a bit of a mare on the last map, could do with a good one here. And the correct read, but oh, lovely movement to get around that.
I don't think they're within earshot.
Spike planted.
Have to test the diligence here. CNED going to fake the updraft into heaven actually. And just creep back around. But
これはこういうのはエイムね。こういうのはエイム。でもこういうキルってさ、ほぼないやん。
Go take
今のキルにはなってんけどさ、その、今みたいな、打ち合い方で倒すってあんまないやん。ちょっとめっちゃ上手いやつがたまに見せるぐらい。
Got a little dicey. It closes out and a tactical crouch for good measure. It's following on from the same sort of energy we're getting from the Twitter sphere today, actually, Lauren.
Which is, yeah, they're getting a little fired up, aren't they? Boys are on it today.
だから左手のキーボードと右手のマウスが組み合ってないと、いくらエイムが良くても多分弾当たんなくなっちゃう。まあ、本当にずっと敵にエイム合い続け、まあ、オートエイムみたいな状態だったら合うけど、そんな無理だから。
Is op in hand of Kellogg's and a couple of players working towards A, so it's kind of him with, you know, old Tommy by his side, helping him out towards sewer.
シーネってそこで置くんだ。うわー、タイミング悪い。
Oh, he's outdone CNED on it. The time you could see off the back of that contact, and now this is good from Kellogg, showing presence everywhere, being a controlling element. We've seen the brilliance of CNED, now we can see it from Kellogg's. Overstays is welcome though, can't get away with that.
ケロックスめっちゃキルしてるな、今回。ただ、ラウンドアセンドが取ってる。でも今回シーネットやられちゃったかな。
In between, there's no one leaning in from CT. Okay, I get to take some space here.
The thing is here, I mean, G2 don't even need to contest this. They have the lockdown, they're going to sit, they have to give up the plant, they give up the plant. They wait for Avova to come back through and make this a very comfortable retake attempt. And Nuki, again, it was noted with that satchel, so they should expect this heaven peak coming through. And he would actually swing at the last possible second here, leaving Killes the last man standing. Spy cam available here, but it's a 1v3 scenario for him.
Killers. Here we go. Timing. Gonna have to happen now. 84 HP. I don't think he can really stop this. No, Avova's got his number while the spike was being diffused. And bear in mind, you had Nuki on patrol as well. So well handled, but let's roll back to Kellogg's there.
Yeah, and the important thing to note here is, yes, it might look like Kellogg's maybe gets a little overzealous looking for another kill on that. But I mean, him and Mixwell, they can fight to the death for that. As long as they trade out evenly,
今来ました。気になる選手はシーネットですね。シーネット。赤チームのジェット。今赤チーム。
If that's the call, that's the call. They can still kind of guarantee that map control elsewhere, just in case it's a fake from.
次シーズンは HP200 のデブキャラ来ますか何その絶対来ないでしょ。
Two Spectres, I think. Cena just got the knives out. Does have a full armor to support it. So I want to see if they try and do something a little fruity with it. 3 plays stacked towards C as well.
HP200 のデブキャラ。タンクってこと？
Plenty of ults to play with, but do you invest them here? Apparently, yes, you do. Z gonna try and be the.
でも200に増えるとかはありそうよね。増えるキャラみたいな。もともと200ってことはないだろうけど。
Well handled by them again. Desperately trying to do some damage. Too much there. Possibility really was Zeke getting something going there, but Mixwell shutting down that ultimate.
まあ来ないだろうな。HP 増やすとかないだろうな。なんかゲームの概念変わっちゃう。
He did everything. Well, I mean everything right's a bit of a statement, I guess. So he had a double face from B. The flash, no matter which way, might have blinded one, but probably not the second. At this point now, Spike
ここの
going
設
down.
置あんま良くないらしいね。
Taken. Seeker's gonna go through towards CT as well.
もうちょっと右に設置した方がいい。
That was quite brave, wasn't it? Just running on past. And Ascend trying to get a little aggressive about this. You can see them desperately looking for those fights early on. Maybe trying to even up the numbers if they could, but no one presenting an easy kill. All tradable, all ready to go. You're going to see the spray down comes in. Keeps himself some space for the reload. Bone Cold finds one towards heaven, but the trade out comes through. But it's not over yet. Numbers still favorable to G2, and a CNED can double down. He can't. Mixwell doing wonders for them, but it's down to Nuki and Killers in this one. Oh, now popped. Gets the reveal, tries to find it in the time, but he can't. Now time is the main thing to be discussed here.
間に合わない。
He's not got it.
間に合わないでしょ、絶対これ。
Play by Killers, just running the clock down effectively. Playing around that cage. To perfection. That will put Ascend 2 ahead.
歩きピークが弱いって動画見たんですけど、遠い壁以外で歩きピーク使うことありますか？
Awkward for Ascend than anything.
まあいなさそうな
Just come
時
back
か
on
な
that
敵が。
previous eco round, we saw them just try and throw something at C site, and everybody falling there. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, 2 bulldogs, a Spectre.
歩きも弱いけど、弱いってかまあ理論上弱いけど、
With a very comfortable purchase.
逆に歩き外してくれるみたいなこともあるし、近すぎると弱いめっちゃ。それは確か。
Heavily in their favor here.
Oh, they're getting Aggie on C long. I like
W
that.
をしてるとかね。なんかクリアリングしてる最中になんかちょっと歩いた方がやりやすいなみたいなとこは歩いてもいいかもしれない多分。
Okay. Spike now planted. This would be a quick flank though. They do have Cypher's utility around this, and I want to see if that actually works out for them, what they get done with it. Mixwell is going to clear the site too, so they're going to have a good idea as to where the opponent's still sitting. Bone Cold trying to at least maybe
Smoke
negate
criminal.
that factor. Put himself on the site, and all of that flank's gone to waste. They found nothing for this. Bone Cold's been checked on, sprayed in on, but he doesn't get found by Mixwell. It's Nuki. Now Avova's turn to try and find a way back through towards middle. Not going to get it either. Starkso's got him. But now the smoke is down. There is still a chance on this. They're going to put the body on the line. Zeke with a good spray finds it. The spike is still ticking. No one's been able to destroy that yet. Here it is. The first attempt on it. Looking to get halfway. Gets it denied by CNED.
Beautiful. Beautiful
Stability
stuff.
found.
Again, just how many times do we see it now? Just on these kind of light buys or the force buy rounds, at least, I mean, call it a force buy. This hit and run on B site, and again, I gotta say, you know, on these sageless compositions, some of it, even if you can buy yourself 10 seconds at the start of the round to stop this exact thing happening, gotta be a consideration to make here.
これサイファーとかキルジョイとかのキャラいる時の B 設置普通に強いよね。
What round do we have here? My book.
Looking at a little Shiko.
ワイヤーあれば後ろわかるしね。
Shiko.
裏なかったらもうめちゃくちゃ余裕だしな。
Oh no.
He's ahead of the flash. I was gonna say,
Still gets
Mixwell
checked.
definitely not gonna expect him that close, but still checked.
Still noted.
Look at the bait and switch, man.
Nasty. And look, up until this point, generally
Spectre で
four players on
TP
towards
していくみたいな。
in that way, right? They've been having 2 towards like garage. Now Starkso, interesting spot to be in, but let's see if they can do anything back into this. Nuki and Kelox, where are you at? Okay, one towards mid working on through. And Nuki, Chico'd out of his mind. Kelox
なんだなんだ。
gonna join.
Player standing.
Well, not for long. Joining merely a corpse here. Kelox. So many people already. Cena's chasing this with an AWP at this point. He doesn't have to do it. Bone Cold's got his back. And Ascend are now starting to string together enough rounds that I'm getting a bit worried about. I want to see the fight back from G2 and I need to see it soon. They've been having some really close rounds, some really good runs, but I need them to put one on the board here.
Yeah, which is and I guess okay, good. I was going to assume it was a G2 tack, and it absolutely early round if they want to try and find from the lock action area. Obviously on defense, how much all those rounds. There's nothing left. There's no buffer here if G2 lose it.
Because even if they do win the round, let's say G2 get it, it kind of has to be clean as well. Otherwise, you're going to be up.
I was going to say
ideally.
you say that if Nuki so then if you get this round.
For the point, it's like 3 I don't run. Now awkward scenario where you're like, well, the meat of it is
なんか Amazon とかで売ってそうなシャツだなこれ。
here too, so I
右
need
の
to see
人は。
that fight back.
Yeah, and actually
プリント T シャツ。こういうの Amazon で売ってるよね。こういうシャツじゃなくて T シャツ。
Was super. No, There it is. Look at us.
I mean, the true highlight
back in
is
the game.
are the shirts today, anyway, not our faces.
It's true. The shirts have been receiving a lot of love.
プロレベルでもシェリフよりスペクターの方が強いんですか？いや、なんて言うんだろう。なんか違う武器だからな。
Interesting.
使い方が違うかもしれない。
I mean, if it's a Frankie Ward special, then we've got to ship it.
It
We've
might
got to
be.
ship it.
We might have to, and it looks like we are back.
シェリフの方がワンチャンスはある。
Thick and fast. CNED straight up A long. They have gone. All right, you want it around. Let's get that pressure mounted. Mixwell, good meat towards Bone Cold on towards Sewer. That's exactly what you want. Seekers go in. They now know where the rest of the team is, but this has been a quick hit. So this is an interesting one. Do they overly read into this? Do they get caught up?
今回シーネットはバンダルで
What an interesting
スタークソ
start
が
to things here.
Zeke
オペレーターなんだ。
actually posted
まあ、そういう作戦なんだろうな、これは多分。
A long
置いと
here,
くみたい
and
な。
two members will freeze for the time being. CNED actually elsewhere. Was double doors. Maybe going
さ
to
あ、どっちからアクションを起こすんだろう。まあでも普通に考えたら A から。
rotate off towards heaven.
いいっすよね。同時に行く感じか。B も行
You
きつ
see
つ。
here, actually, Coldamentus creeping. Zeke might catch him off guard here.
お
Oh, you're not going
Ooh.
to check it. Yep, there you go. That's a beheading waiting to happen. Zeke now pops the ult and away we go. Re-aggressing. Mixwell finds Zeke, puts him back. It's not going to be an easy.
後ろ向いてる敵なのにあの速度で撃つの。
There's the ult. We were talking about it
う
being
わ
a
真下にいる、実は。
Doesn't find anyone. Starks
ああ。
just hits him real quick. There's that slice through the middle of the map with CNED cutting them in half. Now Mixwell's been excellent, but he's finally
Wow.
been put away. And Avova, the last one alive in a 1v3.
Wow.
That was quick.
Don't count this man out. We haven't had to see him deliver much for G2 today. We haven't had the opportunity to, but
みんなうめえや。
Oh, Avova. This is so smart. He
わーおフラッシュ食らっちゃってた、自分のやつが。自分のフラッシュ食らっちゃった。
There he is.
多分ガンぐらいしてたよな、自分のフラッシュ
the。anchor man right there. Avova coming up huge.
半分だったか
I've got to ask the question. How much did
うわしかもたまたま
Zeke use his own flash then?
ヘブン下倒してたから後ろ向いてたんだよな。
Because he looked blind when he swung that.
どうせ家でゴロゴロするならパソコンで副収入を得ませんか？アフィ
This is lovely.
One enemy remaining.
うん、食らってそうだよね、これ。完全に。
Said they needed the round. It wasn't clean, but we'll take it however it's served at this point for the G2 fans. They're like, look, rounds around, boys. 6-3. Let's go. Let's see what we have here now. Ultimate Wise Coldamenta.
意外とこのゲームほんと、意外とっていうか、意外じゃないんだけど、ほんとスキル、使わないどころが大事、使いどころ大事ってみんな思うけど、使わないどころが大事だと思う。じゃなんか、少人数戦でよく、まあ、オーメの人とかがパラノイア持ったりとか、まあ、今みたいにフラッシュ持ったりとか、スカイのフラッシュはまあそうでもないけど、なんか、結構フラッシュ系のスキル持つ人多いけど、あんま持たん方が俺正解だと思う。結構なパターンで。人数多ければね、強いんだけど。4ドル、4ドル、4ドル、強い強い強い強い強い強い強い強い強い。
There we go. This is the other thing, right? Again, I hate to say it, but you know, a quiet map in the previous, and with the pace that it was played out at, and the manner in which these rounds were coming to G2, they didn't have to rely on it. But here we go. This is what I was talking about. You put him in a position to find kills or to clutch up, and he will deliver.
今の最後のキルとかもね、多分敵視点だとちょっとちょびっと動いてるように見える。
Worlds apart. It's a 6-4 scoreline. Ascend financially in tatters. Bladestorm available though.
I mean, the difference he's just made for this team.
岸さんだったら10倍もやってるな。
日
本の実況の人、すごいよね。意外と一番うるさいんじゃないかっていう説あります。
I feel as though I can say that. That was a 1v2 clutch at the end of one of the rounds. And then that 4K, that's enough to call it, I feel. That's enough to say you've earned 50% of G2's
Oh,
round,
yeah.
so he's already made up for it.
Absolutely. Again, I mean, even just looking at the player cams, you can tell the vibes are a little bit different in the G2 camp right now. CNED though, gonna pop this Blade Storm.
開幕フラッシュも地味にうざいよね。A メインいるかどうか分かるやつ。
Early on, but Nuki will go unspotted here. Again, Mixwell dealt with.
このマップのなんか A の守り方の正解がほんと
Just can't adjust to
むずい
it.
気がするわ。
What?
ほら、もうこんな感じでやられたら無理じゃん。
Okay.
Okay.
カバー早かっ
Just
た。
wild. Now
お、強い、
Kellogg's
強い、強い、強い。
He's
お
sending
ほ
them
ほほほほ
signed, sealed, and delivered. Killers
だもんね、
and
リアクションは。
Punish on one, there's a spectre
お
he's
ほ
left
ほ
with.
ほほほだったよ。
So this is going to be hard to fight against these angles. Yeah, not going to get it. G2 stabilizing Hypoc. They've got themselves that window. They've
英語
cracked
実況
it
者の
open.
リアクション。
Have indeed, and they're on the brink of closing out a tied half. This is just oh, that from CNED, just like, just get up in your face.
One enemy remaining.
And Kellogg's responds right back with his own.
I do have to say, whichever dev made the, like, you know, kills have sounds to it.
Oh,
which are
it's
bum, bum, bum,
beautiful.
It's
It's the most
so
satisfying thing.
Yeah. Okay. Kellogg's on the op. Does seem as though it is a lean towards C to begin with, but no massive pace behind this yet from Ascend.
First time really Ascend haven't contested this early A lobby positioning, and I mean the stars almost align here. All the utility from Cole are meant to actually set up for this B hit that Ascend pulled out previously.
意外といい勝負してるね。6-5か。6-6だったら結構もう守り側が
We
なん
noted.
か勝ってるようなイメージだぞ。
So it looks like Mixwell's considering the flash out here, and he does indeed.
いや、後ろ向いてたんだけどな。
One and done for him. Tuck back away, and a man advantage for G2.
強えわ。
And I
ス
like
カ
to
イ
see
純粋に
Spot
強えわ。
Mixwell
後ろ向かせることができるわ
though,
強い。
try and get the most value out of where he is. Currently, good turn on the flash from Kellogg's. He couldn't quite get back to target in time, but CNED has found an entryway.
VS スカイはもう振り向き強くないと無理よね。
Okay,
振り向き強くないと無理すぎる。
We have to now entertain the idea of
避けてるもんだって。
we actually have
避けてるのに負けるもん。
6 is very much game on this map. I don't get too worried about it. Last map, G2 just absolutely stormed it. We actually might have a real series on our hands now.
Yeah, I mean the other thing to consider here in Haven, I think probably the biggest victim of, you know, the rhythm of the game, right? If you can close out a half like that with a couple of big rounds, and then you come into your attacking half. I mean, look at that. Look at that timeline. When we were talking about this, it was 6-2. And Ascend had the financial advantage. Out of overs 1v2 was round 9 on that defuse. The 4 piece was on round 10. And they close out, tie things up.
あ、そうか。これ EU の実況か。
Away we go.
そう EU の大会だもんね。
Zeke gonna be under pressure towards Sewer. Oh, he's dead. He is dead to rights. Kellogg's gonna just pin him down. Bone Cold though. This could be a nice equalizer, but Nookie didn't catch it, but he still catches the bullets. Nookie down. Bone Cold still stands. Still refusing to relent, and you're gonna have that spike drop towards Long, and even with all that progress towards Sewer, it's gonna be Bone Cold with 3. He has absolutely outdone them. It may not be a Sheriff this time, just the Ghost more than enough. And Cold Dementa. The HP is low on Bone Cold. Starkso still sitting pretty. He's got a minute to play with.
Yeah, all the time in the world, really. No heal available in the pistol round. Elementer actually going to drift away. You can recover the spike here, so I think it's in Ascend's best interests not to fight this out, considering that HP. Very risky just relying on a trade in a pistol round in particular. We'll get the spike. He's got 30 seconds to work with. He could hightail it to C right now. Starzo won't be able to hear these steps. It's almost blank canvas here for Cold Dementa, Lauren.
It is, and I mean, I don't blame Ascend for trying to stay somewhat as a duo. Bone Cold's
should know
pretty
now,
low on
yeah.
HP. Now they know what's up.
But the thing is, the turret will kill Bone Cold on first contact.
Correct. Let's see if it does. I think he's very aware of this possibility.
Wow.
Oh, Dementa! I didn't think he had to do that.
The turret hit him for
4 damage? Oh. Is there a problem with the flooring?
yeah, I think there's a glitched texture or something there. I guess they were stuck on. Sometimes you just gotta mash out the
Don't even
crouch.
start that shit here, mate.
Otherwise, you can get stuck on it for a while.
Oh yeah, you don't want clipping.
No,
Now, his value on long, right? Like, that was unreal, the stuff this man just pulled off, because they had the entry on sewer.
yeah, they did, and ultimately not able to capitalize on that. Avova was kind of the reason you see Avova play that so slowly. Is he's
この1ラウンドはでかかったな、
that
しかし。
regress from Ascend. And ultimately, Bone Cold
66折り返しだったらね、今から攻めな G2 は若干有利だったけど。
the first kill he
ま
finds
あただ
is
ファーストラウン
spike.
ド
He can
取られちゃ
reset
ったん
for a
で。
second there.
86
Kellogg tries to pinch,
になり
and I think
がちだけど、
it's
でも
Starzo,
勝ってる
if
ね
I'm。not mistaken, that actually bails him out.
オースバイ。お、しかもファーストギル。
Finding Bone Cold this time, though. Fly right back in, pretty even aside from a little bit more armor. 25 is kind of the difference between each player. That's about it. And G2 have the sight. Kellogg's is just going to take space if he can. Zeke can be forced away by the pain shell. He has to respect it. He could now come back through, but the flash to follow, it's great. They even catch them in the smoke, so they know they're in there.
G2 めっちゃキル知ってるよ。ただ、
Push right back. It's going to be a bit of a trade out so far,
Oh.
but Nookie and Kellogg's be in the back line.
おお。
Stopping them completely. G2 tie it all up.
Again, just fight fire with fire. These round twos are always so awkward when they're in a position to just force up Spectres and run at you. Again, they just played a trade game. And actually, it comes to Kellogg just
リプレイ飛ばしていくか。カロリーメイト。
yeah, again,
これ CM の音楽とかさ、CM の音楽、
Go again.
あれされないよね。
Got it now.
なんか
Flash comes out. They'll be
CM の音楽
bullied.
のせいで YouTube バンされたりしないよ
Well, I
ね。
guess that's one way to help out.
嫌だよ。
Just team kill him.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
すぐ飛ばすようにしよう。CM は、マジで。怖い怖い。
Sus. Etc. Just gonna beat chat to it. Kinda have to at this point.
YouTube の広告を YouTube 上で流してるんだからいいはずでしょ。
Additional armor. Yeah, not gonna happen today, CNED. No, no. Killer's your last one alive.
Spike planted.
And no favorable fights to be found here.
Well, and that will be 4 to survive here. Effectively, that flip round, really, the bonus back in their favor after the round 2 force. And a good opportunity. I mean, again, this is another round at G2. If they wanted to, they could just run it down.
Yep.
Could go for the hit and run on B site again. Ascend also not playing.
さあ
that
次に
safe.
CNET がオペレーターを持ちました。俺この試合見た気がするな、なんかここだ
They
け。
don't have to worry,
見た気がするわ。
as much about CNET in the early round.
CNET めっちゃ強かった気がするわ。なんか見たっけな
So
見たような気がする、めっちゃ。
it's a possibility for them. So actually going to play this a little slower,
So.
spread out across mid here. Killer's got to be very
しっかり当てていく。
Cold Mentor.
うん。やっぱすぐ壊さはないのね。
And we'll get punished for it.
しっかりと。
Does change
しかもバレてる。
as soon as you know that
バレてるこれ。
might facilitate an op. You gotta be a little bit.
バレてた
I。say a little bit. You gotta be
あ、しかもそっちから入れてるんだ、犬。
This is not a favorable fight. It's really not. The flash came in, CNED. That's bold of you. And Kellogg's wants it. He's pushing that.
Oh.
Even CNED was baffled. Killer's had his back, but this looks like maybe Ascend have got enough here.
4v2 だ、いつの間にか。
Good flash. Great follow-up.
ただ
There's another control. Not gonna find it. Zeke
荒ぶった。ちょっ
maintains what should be around for Ascend here, unless Avova. Unless.
Unless you need
Okay,
somebody to
Avova.
clutch up.
Show me what you got. Show me how you make this seem feasible. The double retake through from Garage, the 1v1 you're gonna have into CT, the timing. Okay, that's one way to do it. That's another way to do it. He knows where CNET is.
強ーマジかよ。
Kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Incredible. I will take that L every day of the week. He has got them so many rounds individually now.
This is so sloppy from Ascend. I gotta say it.
Where's the trade?
Right? CNET has the
強い
operator,
わ
I understand, but like,
見てこれ、左下。
it's just CNET has the It's just so sloppy
Bang.
from Ascend. I gotta say it.
Where's the trade?
Right? CNET has the operator, I understand, but like, it's just so labored coming out of garage there.
Spacing maybe a little off. I don't.
うわー
It
っ
just
てやってた
feels a
よ。
little less sharp than usual.
あんま大
right?
きい声出
Feels
せない
like
けど
maybe
俺。
they're hitting a bit of that, furrowed brow. They don't
う
know
わー
what
ってやっ
to
てた。
make of it. They had just a storm on the first few maps, making it look so simple, and
雄たけび。
G2 reinventing themselves and pulling themselves back from the brink pretty much. I mean, they were in no way, shape, or form ready for it. Killer's gonna be forced away off the back of the TP, and Sight's now theirs.
Spike planted.
うわ
No charges left.
Xena gonna try and get something done with the Blade Storm, but looks like Nuki got other ideas
G2、
here.
7級で勝ってる。
Now 3.
いや、ただちょっともったいないもったいないもったいないこれ。
Two on the
2
way.
キル。
CNET will get himself a nice little upgrade. Yeah.
これまだ。
As soon as he picks all these up,
2v3。
you know
で
full
シーネッ
well
ト、オペレーター。
he's dipping.
ただエコだからな。武器がねえんだよね。ボーンコルド強いけど。
Dipping his toes. Yeah, a little more damage
ア
now.
ボバがいいよ。
Be Nuki and Avova to survive.
シーネットのオペレーター珍しいよね、この。
G2 are about
Hero.
to make double digits, man. This is.
Joe, I was just doing the math.
このオペレーター使って
And
る
I think without those rounds from Avova, like we're sat at like a 10-6 scoreline in favor of Ascend. Like before that
Wouldn't be
last one.
surprised.
And you consider actually even the way the previous half closed out.
ブルー
You
オ
could
ペレ
argue
ータ
it's
ー。
maybe one more round. It's like 11-5 in favor of Ascend. It's crazy the knock-on effect that one player on the back of 3 rounds can have.
Complete agreement with you. And I have to now put the question mark to Ascend. When's the timeout coming? When's the discussion going to happen? Because you guys have hit a brick wall right now, and it looks like early investment of utility going to come on through. It looks like the attacking side going to pop the Seekers down there is going to be leading them through towards that B side. Force Zeke away, but Kelos wants to close that gap. Sends it, can't find it. Zeke refusing to be called off early on. Bone Cold wants it, gonna get his way back through as well. This is quite
ああ、もうわからんわからん。わからん。わからん。勝ったんね。
Picked up 4 on the round there. A great response with the run it back, and the problem really is, I mean, that's still the possibility that, you know, G2 take these rounds. That sort of playstyle and Ascend are always so happy to embrace that chaos. Still lots
8対10。
of freedom in terms of the economy here for G2. Actually, yeah, Seekers and run it back invested, so it's only the neural theft.
割とみんな強気なポジションやね。
There's TP
守りは。
available here.
ジークのポジションが一番強気。ただ、ガレージスモーク来て、ここに展開されて、これも C 入れるしかないでしょ。
You two have got very close on C here. Actually, yeah, Killers
Yeah.
giving it all the way up for retake.
And sitting super deep on this. And actually, Starks
おお、強い。
just leaning in alone. There is luckily a trade there. Zeke somehow found Kellogg's.
エイムがいい。しっかり。クリエイムするエイムがいい。
This, but lovely work from the back side from Guess Who, Avova, of course, allowing that utility to
3v3。
The 3v3.
new to vision. It is. Cena's position is
スモークたかれ
very
てオペレ
much
ーターだけ
been
ど。
noted. And
お
once again,
バン
two
フ
playing
ァントム
back
拾
through
った。
garage. We've seen this before, and it was this man who denied it before. Lingers around a little longer to make sure no one else is
Wow.
going to CT, but now it's on Nuki in a 1v2. He can't do it.
いやー、うめえな。
Keeps Ascend
やるときは
back in this.
こういう動きもしっかりできる
9 to
っていう。
10 now on the board, and G2
うまい
unable to
わ。
find any of that individual magic to dissuade Ascend this round.
That makes it interesting. I said there was a
読み
little
外
bit
れ
of
てたな。
freedom in terms of the economy here for
アボ
G2,
バ
but
の
I
方は。
don't think
もう一人追撃できるかなっていうのを見てたけど。
this could be Ascend tying things up. Now, I didn't note the ultimate progress for G2, whether or not they've got anything else available or online here, and it will be actually, yeah, we could take a look here. Yeah, so 3650, 3100. You can see there's 2 rifles and a Spectre already thrown into this, but if they buy in here it's really awkward after that. Devolver. This is a
purchase. Get themselves ready. Out for CNED. Might be in the right place, might be at the right time. Let's find out. TP comes in early. Now, it was
今回は A の人詰めさせながら
behind it and look at this kind of retake of
シネット見てる感じか、オペレーターで。
Bone Cold pushing up will reveal
で、
no
B
one
は
is
この強気ポジションでいつも見てる。
back through. Yes, Zeke will be here to meet it, but everyone else will be as well. This will be more than
ただ B2 なんだよな、守りが。
Good read, but they still
ワイヤーと
have to open the door and
ワイヤーに
see it
押さえ
right
といて
there.
もらって。
On towards Kellogg's site is now going to be swarmed though.
お
He's just going to sit there and accept
もうな、でもわからんわからん。
it. He has to depend on his teammates.
これわからんのよ。
Starkso in the right
視
place
点の
right
切り替わりがも
Call off position.
うスキル食らってる状態すぎて。
Surely, I've doubted him before though, so I can't keep doing it. A 1v3.
I'm just
むずすぎでしょ、見方。
very quiet. I'm keeping very
All right.
quiet.
Third time? Is this really going to happen?
マップ見とかないとわからんね。
First.
Oh.
Not this time.
Oh.
Bone Cold's got him, and I want to highlight again that round. Bone Cold taking that space on long hypoc, that gave so much information to Ascend to hit those rotations early.
Yes, yes, it really did. Again, it's a big, big tell when you don't see that resistance shown towards A lobby. And again, it comes on the back of Zeke seeing both Mixwell's utility setting up mid and then also Coldamenta creeping towards Rabbit outside B.
チャンネル名やばくない？今日から僕は武藤遊戯として生きてき
It's
ま
a
す。
chic, well, a Speako thrown in there.
こんにちは。武藤遊戯です。
Don't. Yeah, it's got actually a fair bit to it. Look at the
And the showstopper.
Armor supported showstopper. It's got some weight to this buy. I don't think it's a light one. And there it is. Pop now. Nuki wants this. He's gonna have to hope for it. No way you're gonna find that. Coldamenta's found Zeke though. And Killers, the timing could work out poorly for him. Yeah, Coldamenta lurking in the depths is gonna punish it. Trade, not gonna happen. Over. Still being the.
お
Hello? How did that just happen? Cnet's gonna sit there.
そこまでわって感じでもなかったじゃん。
He ain't moving. He's gonna stick this one down and somehow
わお。
Cnet pulls this off.
Oh my
ただちょっと噛み合ってなかったな。てか、なんか、何スコープ覗くか覗かないかのギリギリのタイミングを知りすぎ。シーネットは。
And he catches him with his pants down. And like I said, pivotal round that has just completely flipped this map on its head. With all the hard work G2 had done.
いや、これはでも覗いてないな。これ覗いてないよな。これ覗いてないよね。どうです？
The paranoia from Bone Cold there.
あ、どうしようみたいになってんじゃん。
Making huge plays. The paranoia
What
literally
the
just
fuck
like
みたいな感じになってるじゃ
sealed
ん。
the deal on that round.
G2 が。
Over has to respect it. He has to sit at the bottom of connector. Nuki tucks up behind double box and he's just like, well, okay, hopefully they don't see me.
Yeah. Bloody hell. What wonderful work between the two of them. And this couldn't have been closer, 11 to 10 now. But not in the way I expected. These last, 4 rounds, let's say, that Ascend have put on. They haven't been just your kind of clear-cut clinical. These have been some mad ones coming out, but...
See, I'm looking another round in the future, right? Expected outcomes?
ウォーデルってアサルト使わないの？
This is a disaster if Ascend go to map point here and series point.
That's the difference, isn't it?
見たい選手はシーネットです。
Sweep and G2, you can't say that Avova wasn't trying. I mean, they've been trying to pull it, but now they go all in. And now they come into the gateway where CNED resides. Here comes the old pop.
しっかりと
easily dealt with by Starkso.
外した時のカバーもいるっていうね。
This
用意してる
isn't
って
bad.
い
They
う
have to punish CNED though. He's still alive. I
さあ
don't
ここで
know
売ると
how he's still alive.
ただ外れた。
He's just buying time.
うわ
Bone Cold's found Coldamenta. Zeke's got his back. And they
なんだこれ
forced
なんだこ
themselves
れ
out.
なんだこれ。ちょっと 1V いや HP きつい。このゲーム HP きついときついからきつい。
Oh, Bone Cold. What a way to slap
Bone
him in
Cold
the
だ。
face.
Bone Cold.
オペレーターじゃなかったらな今拾ったやつが。ワンチャンあった。持ち替えがなかったね。
Will put themselves on series point. G2 nothing left in the bank. And they fought to the death for that one.
めっちゃ今持ってるやんしかし。なんでこんな A いんのってぐらいいるな。
It's like it's pixel perfect. It's timing perfect there. Just again.
Get out of my way.
Alright, 12 to 10. This isn't just map point, it's match
今
point.
回はミッドも詰めて。ただショートやられちゃった。ショートやられちゃった。
Still dreaming of that reverse sweep that
さあ、ミッ
seems
ド詰
so
め。
real.
これもやられそう。いや、やれそう。わー。頭当たった。
On the second cross. That's gonna
頭当たった
hurt.
ぞ
He'll comes
さあ、ここでウルト使っ
in,
て
He's feeling ferocious about it.
帰って
Instantly quells that threat. But they're being
カバーあるか。でも A 進むんじゃないこれ。ミッド多いってわかるから。
much of the map to play with right now.
シーネットがここで。こう強いんだよ、こういう時のシーネット。はい、当てちゃう、僕。抜き。はい、ここも2キル目。いい。これ強えよ。強えよ、これ。
I think have done more than enough. They close out the series 13 to 10. And G2 saw
こんなんやってるぞ。見て見て見て。ここ見て、真ん中の下。これありなのか、これ。これありなのか。これありなのか。
入社3年目、いつもと変わらない
だって
平凡な日々の連続だった。
次どれ見るか。他マップも見たいよね、ちょっと。センチネルズ、これセンチネルズも後で見たいんだけど。その前に。ブリーズねえかな、ブリーズ。あ、ブリーズあるじゃん。ギルド e スポーツ。ギルド e スポーツ vs アセンド。これね。
I want to see it tested with. I want to see it tested with. But another talking point throughout this is, I mean, I know they touched on the composition a little bit. Guild mixing things up a little bit has been a good look for me recently. Breeze is a fantastic opportunity to reinforce that.
だから日本選手やってくんねえかな、あれ。誰か日本の選手あれやってくんねえかな。俺は他の人は知らないけど、俺はファンになることを約束するよ。
Very quick plant comes through from Guild. Actually, going to try and reset back in towards Cave here. You've seen actually get spotted out. Keyless, a little bit of damage done, but Zeke finally opened things up on this retake here. But again, a little bit of a stalemate right now, and a flank comes through from Safe.
鮮度が守りですね。構成ちょっと見ていこう。こんな感じなのでよくわかんないし。シーネットがジェット。ジェット、バイパー、スカイ、これ夜かな夜、サイファー。一方で、バイパー、ジェット、ソーバ、でサイファー、でセージ。あ、スカイ入れないんだ。スカイとソーバー。スカイ VS ソーバー。
So I want to see what they bring in. I'm purely sitting here almost with you guys at home as a fan at this point because I just want to see how
セージいないのはまだわかる。まあソーバーいないのはまあまあわかる。スカイいないとかある。
I do as well. I mean,
夜が入ってると。
benefits of Haven in terms of rotation time, in terms of selling fakes on attack. I think that suits this map down to a T. You're actually going to get Ascend walking mid here.
これはバトルパスマーシャルですね。違うか、バトルパスマーシャルじゃないか。なんだっけこれ、このマーシャル。バトルパスか。このマップのエコラウンドマジきついよね。いや、マーシャル買ってればでも結構あるな、取れる率。マーシャルないとマジ無理だと思う。これ俺ランクとかでこのブリーズやるときマーシャルでめちゃくちゃマーシャル得意だことに気づいた。めっちゃヘッドショット当たる。
information by physically pushing out somewhere and then reacting based upon it. I want to see how that comes out in these buy rounds because if we see this mid presence completely neglected by Guild once again here in the buy round, if this becomes an issue throughout this half, Ascend could really pull away with some of these rounds.
これもう入れ守りやね、完全に。わお。ドローン刺されてた。青森テイクするっていう感じなのかな。
for Guild, but it already looks like CNED has a great read. Up and over, rifle now upgraded, doesn't touch the spike plant yet. Wait, did he find Leo at the same time? Yeah, he did. He just called him off towards main.
壁がちょっともったいないよね。なんか
but the numbers are dwindling, Hypoc.
壁なんか登れないやつにしたいのに。
Reset here to try and play this post plant lineup here, but Starzo's going to be able to just stick this defuse all the way through. Yeah, again, Safe comes through with his flanks through tube. Gets up to bridge, but it's a little too late. Ascend. They get all of the kills early enough. It doesn't even allow Guild to reset towards this post plant all the way back behind Cave. And like I said, I mean, this is on the back of two members walking mid, not getting any contact whatsoever. No utility invested from Guild anywhere else on the map. And Ascend are able to, I mean, come in as the spike is planted there.
And they've looked good. We haven't seen too much variety out of Guild
サイファーいいね。サイファーのこのワイヤー地味にいいよね。A 攻めの時にこの裏取りのワイヤー1個あるかないかでだいぶ違う。裏見づらいからね、このアップ。音消えたぞ。急に。私ネットは B リンクと。で、A はやっぱ若干入れ守りだね。A なんかこの、やっぱソーバー、この A 攻めの時強いわ、めっちゃ。スカイじゃ全然できないことができちゃう。ドローンが強い。リコンと。壁あって守りにくいね。さあ、C ネットがここしっかり置いてる。
That's going to shut that down immediately. And this is where we look to Ascend really to stretch their legs a little bit, right?
このスタークソンもね、結構心強いよね。結構強気に言ってくれる選手だから。おギルド。ジェットがラークで詰めてるけど、タイミング悪くやれちゃった。
Spike in the hands of Cypher, which has now been dropped. Boncard's angle, I thought it was going to be a one and done, but no one's pressured him in response. There it is. Burst from Boncard does get him the step towards the side, but the frenzy's only going to get you so far. Needed Leo by his side, but starts
何この視点
making sure he had the support from Yoru on the side itself. No problems found there. And another good one in the bag this time around. I'm still waiting
なんかラウンドの途中みたいな視点だったな今。バグってるバグってる。
Fine. Yeah, you're golden. So it's not a bad purchase going back in, but look at this stack here. 3 players pretty aggressively postured up towards A main, maybe getting a little aggy on that. Nice flash from Zeke.
守りが意外と攻めマップかと思いきやね。守りが練習してしまうみたいなこともある。このマップ。一方的になりやすい。はい、強い強い。はい、強い。純粋に当てる。やっぱ結局、強気に勝負して当てれるやつが強いんですよ、このゲーム。結局。強気に勝負して当ててくるオペレーターに勝てるやついないもん。
Keep your eye on the minimap now. CNED's gone hunting, so look at all this space again. Guild are kind of just getting suffocated here in mid.
5 on 3。
あ、
ちょっとどこってなっちゃってるな。ミッドアミから見てくれるのか。その間に B 入られちゃってる。けど、人数状況がもう 2V5 で。あれゴースト持ってんだ。ゴーストでハーフアーマンだ。俺それだったらもう、マーシャル買っちゃうな。
Viper utility trying to clear you out of the more favorable corners, and CNED is just step by step taking every single fight.
Hitting today, and again, the important data, we could talk about the design of this map, and again, once that kind of, I guess, stalemate develops in the mid-round, the fact that CNED comes through, finds another pick, saves them like 10 seconds or so, waiting for that retake to actually come through. They can't, I mean, they have no opportunity to get off site. Safe and Bonkar are literally forced to play back corner, and that's it. And with all the utilities still available, you even identified it. It's so easy to dig these players out.
And I also want to highlight though, I want to see what Guild do when you don't have someone like Sky to force someone like CNED off these angles. I'm looking at Guild's composition. I don't see that many kind of flashes. Again, seeing the likes of Phoenix coming out to play a little bit in Europe. I love the fact that Sky's coming to play. It's gonna be a little bit harder for these ops to find those clean angles that you can just keep falling or re-peeking on. You saw how brave he was. And again, a little bit of a different look this time.
Beta,
Deep flash comes out from Sky towards middle from the defending side. You've got all of that information being built up. There's no one B. We're fine. You know it's gonna be this A piece. It is on towards the kind of Cypher on the back lines. Bone Cold up close. Ultimate's there, but Gilda gonna continue forward, but so is Bone Cold. Now only a 1-for-1 trade, not ideal, but the information gone.
Phantom だったらバレなかった説。
And Killers finds a perfect spot to slaughter Yassine. Starkso wants more facts. He wants more information.
さあ逆にバイパーズビットされた。
Viper's bit countered in here, but Keyless still alive and kicking on site now, causing many a problem.
わからんわからん。もうバイパーズピットこれダメよね。感染殺しよ。本当に。これこんなんさ。これも俯瞰してみないとわかんない。
So let's talk about what they need to do here, Hypoc, because I feel as though
本人してみても何がなんだか全然わかんない。切り替わってた。さあスコアがひどいぞ。ギルドが全然何もできないまだ。最高で3キル。
Now speaking of that, looks like we're going to have that Yoru and, well, actually CNED combination
だって今回は
towards elbow. So I want to see how this looks. They don't have the Sky to flash the corner, so it will be just gun out gameplay at this point.
夜がここ詰めて1キルして下がらない。このまま維持する。ああ、一方的やなこの試合。
And Starkso knows there's still another close. It's going to be clearing towards safe. Stunner of a shot. Gilda no slouches.
どっちかっていうと1000アップですねこのマップは。 ただ全然守りがめっちゃ練習することもある。こんな感じに。
He's considering upgrade into this Phantom here, make it a little bit easier on himself.
なんかかなり打ち合いマップなイメージかな。 広いから意外とね、なんか正面の打ち合いになりやすい。意外と。なんか横から打たれると思いきや。カバーがなかなか来ないから。
I think Bone Cold is watching this with great timing to it, but it's given Safe the chance. There it is, gateway found, but does he expect Zeke so close? They knew that the Yoru was close by.
Wow,
that's a brilliant shot from Safe. Say goodbye to Zeke in the first round on the board for Guild, and they needed it. Safe with a lifeline here.
I mean, almost in that scenario, if you're Ascend, sit back and force the plant. Run the clock down as much as possible. There's almost no reason to peek there. It's so difficult to reset.
全然守りのが取れるみたいな時あるよこのマップは。
That's the biggest sideline, right? Elsewhere you have the wall. You obviously have the archers over towards defensive spawn, and Ascend did everything.
しっかりここ着実に当てていくのが強いね。
Fortunately, it's how things opened up, but the big question for me is how Guild are going to address, you know, CNED being this active with an operator with effectively nothing to get him off these angles other than Bonkard's utility.
今回 B バイパーで守ってる。
Nothing to shut out these sight lines.
No, I mean, nothing that you can do safely, right? Everything other than that takes risk.
It's a dry peak. Everything is a dry peak.
And Seeker's going down early. Doesn't reveal too much. Maybe that there's a slight, maybe just a default more than anything going on. It's not like a heavy sight lean. So once again, they can maintain position. No need to overly rotate here. Looking at Guild trying to find maybe just an early start. Maybe try and dissuade some of the stacks going on. The double stack here as well towards that kind of close angle on A main. Wait and see. It looks like a B lean eventually. And really only dedicated towards this will be that Viper, which is Bone Cold. And first forward might be safe. He was thinking about it. See what they have to work with here.
Bone Cold timing this perfectly off the toxin. Again, the snake bite comes through. Actually, somebody's walked through it. You seem to walk through it.
Wow, slow down.
Damage, but he's done really well to find that. Now there is Killer still there. Don't think they've noted him just yet. The smoke.
これがあるのね、バイパーのあれって。
There it is. Site comes out. It's 20 seconds on the board, but it should be viable. There it is. Post plant now set into motion as well. It's gonna be hard to dig players out.
うわ、微妙に隙間見えてる。微妙に見えとるんよ。わあ。あの隙間。隙間2キル。うわ、これ隙間2キルだったね、今、完全に。
add insult to injury. They're still trying to play by this wall here. Yassine's been noted. Spins
Ai,
it.
強い。
Does not care. Does not give a damn about them. Two of them now.
もったいねえ、今の。
Starks
ミスだ
wants
な、
in on the
完全
action,
に。
but we know this is gonna be CNED.
はい、強い。なんかこのキル多いんだけどさ、C ネット。ほんと、こういう。 これなんでこいつこんな当てんの？こういうキル。
What? Again, there was an opportunity there. Yes, Bone Cold gets caught off guard, maybe a little over-reliant on his utility there. This shot here, completely, that's the round down.
今
Like right here, Ascend have all the momentum, just force their one to
で
side.
この
Only Yassine
一
left.
回ジャンプして位置見れるのちょっとずるい。
And Bonka, sorry, all the way over in B main. There's no way for them to fight back in here. Ascend just throw bodies.
おい、最後のいいとこ映ってないやん。
This could be a fast piece, maybe? It looks, I don't say super fast. You still have Cypher kind of bringing up the rear lines, but that's somewhat to be expected. A stack towards A, though. And a shoddy by Killa is feeling the pressure here. Gonna hear out the out drone, tries to
これ
through it, but now
ソーバ
he's
マジでうざいよね、この
He's not
人
gonna。keep him safe anymore. Gotta keep himself tucked in the corner, buy time for rotation, keep space on the side. If he can keep
ドローンこんなうざいと
Soldier
思ったの
safe,
か
that's
な
not terrible. It allows for more players to come through, like Stark. So
一人で守ってる時にドローン来られたら本当終わる。このマップ。
And somehow Zeke is here. Yet to give it away, he's got the cross being watched slightly by CNED. This is not bad.
いかにドローンを避けるか。
Control
ドローン
here.
のダー
There's
ツ
no
を。
lurk for a minute. Keep your eye on that Cypher in the back line. Just a flank on a flank. Bone Cold might catch him in elbow. That's the giveaway. Ooh, the first shot took
強
a
い。
second, but that one was clean. Bonecard just forced in the grave, kicked in the dirt. And that flank that was quietly building from that Cypher feels a little irrelevant. CNED's even kind of checking on it. Did he see him? I don't know, but it was safe.
強い。このレオって人打ち合い強そう。
Now begins, make it a 3v2. Here we go. Game
本来は。
back on, but they know where that was.
30 seconds left.
You do indeed. And CNED now tucked up in towards Archers.
さあ、今回はフィールドにも
Safe actually now
チャンス巡ってきたんじゃないか？
He's gonna box him in Bone
いや
Cold.
ただここで
Oh no.
CNED's still
スパイ
alive.
クキャリア行かれ
You
ちゃっ
don't
た。
get
これ間に合うのか？
two swipes of the sword against
今一瞬見てなかった。マップ見ちゃってた。
You don't get to pull off two swipes of the sword against the king. You better come
近距離のオペレーター
clean.
強すぎ。
You make a mistake, you're gonna get punished. CNED lives, and so does Ascend. Another on the board.
Dude. You
CNED.
think there's like 90% of other operator players is like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've got a Guardian, but push him. If he misses his first shot, I'm fine. You know, I can respond there. But still, CNED lands the shot. He's at 17-2, Lauren.
Told you this is look. This is one of those where it's like
強っ。
it's an Oppa's paradise, right? Long lines of sight, lots of cover to move back away.
I think all in to rotate.
At this point, there's no two ways about it. You can't just depend on
え、
sight.
シーネット
It's
何キルなんですこ
a
れ？
way to do it to you. So
めちゃくちゃ
at this
スコアすごいこと
point,
になってない？
you can run these comps and hope to get away with it, if I'm honest. As said, Bonker has to shoulder so much of the.
さあただ B2 で守ってんよ今回。バレてないんじゃないかもう一人。スタークスバレてないんじゃないかこれ。あただやられちゃった。はい、C ネット、ここの C ネット。どういうこと？
Oh no, this is a disaster. If you thought the one problem being CNED was there, no, you have another Bone Cold. And again, yes, the shots ring out. They rattle through. That late lurk still in effect, but it's still so far away.
わお。
And
もう
Zeke's
包囲されちゃう。
Bonker, and the flank, if they could have lived a little longer, could have been exploited, but they can't win the site, Hypox. So again, Safe has to clutch out, but this time against 3.
So CNED already posting up. Gonna send the first out. Safe now. Gonna get tagged up with the first. CNED lands the second, and yes, this is kind of an unorthodox way to address it, but just to give some context.
ボコボコやないかこれ。
Safe kind of lost in these lurks.
19キル2です。ボコボコやないかこれ
And。they don't see CNED initially. Just which I mean, with Bone Cold landing the way he is, with Zeke playing the way he is, it's really, really difficult. It's a lot to ask of somebody.
And it's dropping though, look.
ゴーストを買うの。
About some of the
やっぱ
classic
EU の
challenges
チームはこういうなんていうのスキルで勝つような戦い方をしたいから
Really nicely done. And yeah, there's mid
できるだけめっちゃ
pressure
スキル
now,
買
trying
っ
to break
て
through these double doors
ゴーストで
towards an op, towards
戦おうみたいな感じなんかな。
It's not pretty.
アーマー買っ
Timing
て
could have almost worked there for Leo, but again, bear in mind
これが
they
正解だみ
have
たいな。
ghosts, sheriffs and marshals. You got nothing. You got nothing to really play with. You're hoping
打
they
ち合い
make
で勝つ
mistakes.
っていうより
Yeah,
は
Bone Cold's maybe
立ち回りで
vulnerable
勝つ
and
って
Zeke a
いう
little
ことを
bit,
重視
but
してるから
3 full
ゴー
HP
スト買ってんのか
players.
な。 俺ゴーストこれ、そんな良くないんじゃないかと思ってるんだけど。ノーアーマーマーシャルの方がワンチャンあるんじゃないかと思っちゃうね。
Now, CNED getting very aggressive, and he still hits it. Would you look at that?
Look at that.
距離保たれちゃうしね。
Draken gets the better of him though.
エコって。
The way back through.
ステージの壁の色、これバグですね。なんか、よくある。この、毒あるとき。
Gotta retrieve this spike now from inside double doors. This is awkward here for Draken to recover anything on this round now. Still 3 members of Ascend alive and kicking. Bone Cold already. Oh. Switch cam, please switch cam. He's 1 HP, guys. He's 1 HP. Trust me. He's lit.
He's lit. He's lit. Just swing him. Swing him.
Nice. Good trade. Good
1
trade.
HP.
Good trade.
Ten to 1, man. This is. And let's talk about bigger picture now, right? This is now every other team, of course, all the other teams in, especially that get late in these tournaments now, late in these runs. Oh, that was nasty. Who do late runs in these tournaments now when they come up against Ascend have to think, yep, all right, Breeze is in the map pool and it's good. That's another good one for them. That's not something we can just float as maybe a non-veto. It's you have to respect it now. You're at 10 to 1.
I'm not even really seeing Ascend have to lean back on ultimate usage. Yes, we've seen the Viper's pick go in. Haven't really seen anything on the back of, Zeke popping.
ゼータの某コーチならゴーストにチクチクことが出てる。そうなのかな。わかる。もう常識がわかんない。その、なんて言うんだろう。ゴーストが悪いかいいのかもわからないけど、俺は思っちゃうなってる。マーシャル。なんか全然。
And that's quicker. CNED, first man forward. He's never relenting in this, but that's the ultimate. Now further layers are presented in front of him. Starkso's found Bonker. Here we go.
打ち合い結構やっぱ大事よね、このゲーム。なんだかんだ、打ち合い、純粋な正面勝てるか勝てないか。フラッシュ食らわせてとか、いろいろあるけど。フラッシュも何も食らってない状態で、パーンって勝てるの。
And now it turns. It flips to Leo, who's had to pull off the 1v2 and he can't do it.
Are you kidding me? Again, once that Viper's pick gets popped in response, you've got to lean towards Guild closing that round out. It is absolutely ludicrous that Ascend are able to fight their way back into that retake. With the Neural Theft coming through, Bone Cold still finds a kill from the flank. I think Draken just can't react quick enough.
これは、俺アセンド勝つと思います。この試合。皆さんはどっちにかけますか？僕はアセンドにチャンネル名をかけます。
Zeke's going to come and try and fake A, or at least like bait some presence here. And look at the stack from Guild. They are all towards A, 1 member in Nest. Yeah. Immediately. Yep, he's taking contact now. They're going to sit here.
Have to clear it out.
On a platter. Yep. On a platter.
Lovely. And then it's why we like starting to see that Yoru coming to play. It, especially on maps that have these long rotations, it's really punishing, because then if you set someone up in mid or in positions to then make those rotations even harder, you get so much more viability to it. Starkso did take a bit of damage, and Safe has found Keyless, so here's the start. Maybe it won't be a clean run, maybe there'll be a little bit of a, I don't know, a trudge back into this.
このラウンドギルド取りそうだ。
Doing well
なん
to
か
work through middle, already finding the two kind of, I guess, guardians of the fight. And now, not sure who this player is on the screen. Just a jet there gets traded out. It will be Leo to find him. Zeke next on the chopping block, but comes out on top. Couldn't quite get the follow. Look at this flank out from Stark, so the HP was already low. He could have maybe found the timing, but good recovery here from Guild.
Yeah, really good. And actually, they're spread very, very thin on that retake. And the fact that they find, I mean, the big one initially, which is Keyless and Bone Cold initially, who are way far away from this execution. They're kind of the late round piece, right? They're the ones to come in and kind of try and wrap onto that retake when Guild comes through. But finding both of those off the rip, absolute perfect start for them. As well, I honestly thought Zeke was about to find the second as well, and then be able to TP away. It would have been good.
Now, what's the buy? I want to see if they kind of force in there. There's a bit of a 4-3. Yeah. I mean, Spectres, Marshals, once it ends. Go to probably clear out Pillar, gets denied it. Tries to check to see if Sage did join the wall. It wasn't to be, and actually CNED's been lost early.
You lose. See how Sen now try and pivot away from this. Again, both Viper and Sage, Leo and Draken actually going to commit to B site. Zeke will retrieve the orb from B. Actually, already Starzo and Bone Cold are going to get a lot of ground actually up towards. They're going to be able to slip behind wall here.
Well, that
Completely
nice,
undetected.
Yeah. And that's a bit scary.
勝ってんね。
With that Yoru still
焦んのも。
presenting a problem. There it is, removed. Now let's see how much they gain from this. Jump peak comes
お、
out, they
強い。
know one. But Bone
強い。
Cold finds Draken, the flash
お、
down
このラウンドって崩れるもしかして。
Actually
おっ
didn't
と、ただ取り
reach
返す。
Leo there. They popped it just on the other side. That
これ
one
キル取りたい。
was
うわー、もう
Atlantis.
取った。
Now
ギ
Leo
リギリ
still
取った。
survives, tries to get the
ワン
heal,
ブイ
gets
ツ。
denied. Bone Cold still alive and kicking, but for
ワ
how
ン V2。でも
long?
これ 1V2 だったら全
Sheriff
然
locked and loaded. Spectre 2, if he finds
ワン側が勝つ可能性あるぞ。ただここの展開はちょっとこの配置的に厳しそう。厳しそう、この1キル取っても取り返されて積む。
He's waiting. He's waiting for one of them to just show a centimeter, an inch, and he will
さあ、
take
この
that
柱とか
mile.
を利用
Spike
し
can go
て
down. He wants the timing in his favor.
1V1 2回作りたいところ。
Spray, nothing for it. Another cross comes through. That's one. Not gonna happen.
しょうが
Well
ない。
done by Safe. Well done by Bonka. Keeping this one within hand.
Two important rounds, but again, with the way this first half has gone, yes, there's a force coming through.
ちなみに、
I think with Ascend, it's going
ちなみに俺全然関係ない話なんだけど、
keep up this early round.
遊戯王っていうものそのものを知らない人っている？
Something else coming out.
何も知らない。情報が何も知らない。カードゲームということも知らないっていう人いる？遊戯王というもの。カードゲームかすらも知らないみたいな人って。
More often than not, even just by brute force, you're going to be able to squeeze a couple of rounds out on attack, especially with the caliber of players we have on Ascend. There's still mountains to climb for Guild here. Again, a lot of emphasis on A. Like Safe and Yassine to explore mid here. Bonkar going to open things up once again. CNED will fall.
Should be clean here. Don't want to keep any of the rifles at least. Keep in mind, Safe and Leo your prime targets here, and the ones with the big boy weaponry. Bulldog still out on parade, and Yassine with a little lighter. So see how this fares for now. Send being kept at arm's distance, which is probably the safest place to keep him.
やっぱエコはきちいな。
If Bonko can get anything else off, no, it will be a flawless round victory coming out from Guild. Looking at the ultimate progression, actually, it was a little favoured for Ascend.
デュエマ派だったの。
Check back in with that, and
なるほど。
obviously things like Zeke obviously retrieving that ultimate orb. Obviously, Yoru the consideration to be a much lower ult count for him. Traditionally, in some of the other duelists, at least now. Ned got that operator online. This is where we look to see, you know, what can Ascend do on attack here? What's going to be the intention? Ned immediately going to get control of Tube. Actually, first time we've seen Guild actively explore mid in the early round here. Keyless and Bone Cold here to greet them. Actually, trade-off for damage goes in favor of Ascend initially, though.
Yeah, luckily you are joined by a Sage, so you get a little bit of a heal going on.
切り札勝負ね。切り札勝負派だったってことね。
Now, we'll see if he gets dissuaded by
切り札勝負に比べたら武藤有利いい名前は。
And there's Seekers going down towards the site itself, and there's going to be a big flank core, and there's CNED catching Yassine. That's a problem. CNED now gets to rain down here, and it's going to be a thorn in their side, and they have to keep aware of it. Zeke, though, finding all the facts and information coming out by Tribox, but he gets caught by the double door.
切り札勝負は名前がコロコロコミックすぎる。
Down on the flag, a fantastic headshot from Draken. Uncold will respond. First snake bite goes out. Spike ticking away here, and Starzo finding Bonka leaves Leo as the last man standing for
Wow, これは。
Leo's
おー。
gonna land a headshot.
すげえわ。
Starzo will fall.
よかった。
They strike back.
つながってるよ、ギルド。
Massive
なんとか。
Leo, the little clutch master himself. Beautiful stuff.
なんとかつながってる。
There's a reason, look, obviously I
守りマッ
CNED who
プもしかして。
pops off, but Leo, when he gets his games, He is incredible too. That adjustment at the end here. Watching this again. Yeah. Just making it look
Clean
so
with it.
casual. Yeah.
オレイカルコスの結界なんだっけ、オレイカルコスの結界っ
And
て。
let's see, that
なんか映画のやつよね
opportunity is gonna go
映画
straight
わかん
into
ね
the hands of Yassine. And now, actually, I mean, look what's taken off the table there for Ascend. Viper's Pit.
まあそんな遊戯王の話は置いておこ
One away from the neural theft, one away from the blade storm. So potentially, look for CNED to just hop into shop over towards A and grab that orb, get that online, maybe try and get something working here. You can see already that's the intention, I think, with a little bit of an investment, the full armor coming out.
5ラウンド練習された
So
4ラウンドか
he's
4ラウン
gonna
ド練
be
習された
player to watch here for Ascend in this round at least. Not seeing any other pistols forced up before the timeout actually went into effect, but the other side of things, Viper's Pit
割と攻めマップかなと思うけどなでも
key
言って
component in terms of defending Breeze here. Especially considering the choke point entry to both sides.
どうなんだ大会だと守りマップなのちょっとよくたくさん見てるわけじゃないからわかんないけど
Further emphasis, I'd say, towards A. I mean, it's 3 stacked around Madonna and 1 towards double doors.
Yeah, again, we always, yeah. It is the Mr. Muscle.
あそこ犬映んないんかな
If I just do it, hopefully they'll just play along.
That's nice from Yassine there, though. I think they've read it perfectly. They've looked at the old counter and they
こ
know
のラウンドは
Yassine's
区
gonna
内
try
で
that.
頑張ろうと
Again, everything perfect so far. Leaning now back towards B. Draken's still here, doesn't want to get too invested, and he
They're gonna
does at least
pop.
have the
They're gonna pop.
utility, and here it comes. Flash comes in, he gets swept up by Zeke. Now that site is actually slightly free. I don't want to say super... Oh, Leo, careful now. CNED's got the knives out, so this is not one to underestimate. Now they've noted there's going to be at least that Sova in towards Connector as well, so they know that that's coming in. That's 2 players now accounted for. The last 2 are the problem. Do you account for maybe another CT and 1 on flank potentially? You still have that Cypher utility there. This is now becoming a little bit more of a threat than it should have been, Hypox.
Shit,
This
no,
could be a
Ichigo.
problem. CNED now playing aim training. Let's see how he does. The first one does pass, takes a little bit of a haircut on the sides. Zeke did get the rifle though, so now problems are plenty. You've seen up close and personal. Shotgun to the chest. CNED out of it. Zeke still trying to do some work, but he's outgunned,
今の打ち上げ方エロいね
all maintained by Guild.
I'm very, very impressed so far. Guild remaining very, very composed, very, very well considered in that retake once again. I mean, safe, taking things very, very cautiously. Ultimately, you know, total faith and trust in his teammates to find space towards site anyway. Fortunately, seen it not landing the damage necessary. And again, the Viper ultimate has always been an interesting discussion topic for me, and this map in particular, right? You
さあ5連取しますよしてますよ
or you pop it on contact,
ギルド
especially on defense at the start of the rounds. And right there, I mean, yes, he has an opportunity to potentially stop that.
ただシネットがオペレーター持ってた
Information is gathered. It's 1 falls and you note 4 players.
ついにもうこいつにクリアリングさせこいつが先頭行っとるやんシーネットが先頭行くはい
I feel like this is genuinely the gateway to the comeback, right? This round is like the next big buy coming
Oh yeah,
in.
yeah.
Rifles out, safe.
しっかりとウルトで
Brilliant. They
ウルト使ってしっかりもう
they are lucky to be alive.
固く取っていこうっていう感じですね
So much more damage with that, but they do get
いやーここの打ち合いもったいない
And
まあでも居場所があそこしかなかった感じが
the site is
しゃあない
theirs. The ultimate comes out, they've all been noted, and CNED is keeping them back one by one. They challenge him, and one by one, looks like they're gonna fall.
さあ
Yeah,
強い
look at this guy, so sharp.
マジで外さん
As lightning. You can see another. He knows the Bonkar's there, and he wants it. I'll feed him another.
この自分から詰める時のオペレーターが
Draken.
マジ強い
Here it is. Let's see if they go for
こ
it.
こは当てるからしっかり
Oh,
はい
CNED, come
おい
on.
これ
No.
Match point.
No way
Oh, it must be so tilting to play versus him. It must be. It's just jumping.
このシーン見たことあるわ
Bonkar's like, there's no way he's doing this, right? It takes a full second for Bonkar to process.
28キル9位です シ
I
ーネ
could
ット
watch that all day long.
And it's
All day
that
long.
round. It's that round that is now going to stop the momentum from Guild.
Yep.
Yes, they can buy back in. but
シーネットは
that, like I
この
said,
ゲー
it's
ムでは
tilter, Lauren.
course it is.
覗かなくても
Mental's in the bin.
弾
You
は
just
当た
got
ります。
jumping opt in deep CT.
Both holding that angle too, by the way.
Two players watching it. Seems unreasonable, doesn't it? And now Safe is going to be charged with trying to keep control of Zeke, who's pulled in
こ
one
れ
position.
この走り方クソダサいよね。
Away, though. Now, kind of pulls him away from
頭先頭にして走る感じ。
does find your scene. Already.
あれかな、これ日本人キャラだからちょっとナルト走り意識してんのかな。あんな走り方する人おらんくない？あんな走り方する人いないでしょ。ナルト走り意識してるかもしかして。
Bonkard's recon bolt not going to give him any information on the back of this, and Ascend able to spread out.
Yeah, Bonkard's position is a headshot angle, then it's a nasty one. Good trade out for Bonkard to at least find Zeke though. They still know the Bonkard's around, but he expects really well done by Bonkard. Maintains composure. Starkso wasn't the wrong call either, had to try and make the play. There was a vulnerability, but fell to the trap, and now Bonkard. The timing's everything. He's gonna at least get by Bonkard.
Bonkard の位置すごいよ。バレてないんじゃない？でも負けそう、これは。さすがに勝てないか。さすがに勝てない。うわうわ、終わった。
Oh my word. What a way to end it. What a way to end it. Bonkard just running rings round them.
Two sides of the coin then, right, Hypo? Because we then get on one side, while the team's running their traditional comp, not as adapted to the more recent ways, and then on the other side, of course, the, I'd say, more current meta version.
Yeah, I mean, the big benefit being Leo on the breach, right? That's
the
perfect counter to what we're expecting to see here from Ascend. Again, looking towards them finding value from that on the defense.
もう一個見るか。センチネルズ見るよ、センチネルズ。センチネルズが負けてる試合見るってさっき言ったけど、勝ってる試合見よう。どれがいいかな？100T 見るか。センチネルズ VS100T。イーブン。これ見ます。
Sky, Sova, and you're gonna have the Cypher as well. I mean, you're gonna know exactly where everyone is on the map pretty much all the time, it seems like.
Yeah, you should be getting plenty of info. Ciphers across the board, really, both for Dapper and Steel.
Jet, Cypher,
I imagine we're going to see a whole lot of like rattiness and sniffing out coming from both of those players. Primarily Steel, we know he likes to play that way.
Jet.
And then Sick, I just want to very quickly touch on this because you brushed by it, Ender. I think a Phoenix, especially on this map, can be so devastating, and then in the hands of Sick as well, it'll be a ton of fun to watch. We see a setup defense.
さっきのやつは SpikeGG ってサイトですよ。ザ・SpikeGG ってサイトです。
Yeah, I definitely love to see that. See the scouting up it as of course.
100
Thieves on the attack, pushing over towards Garage. That's where Phoenix always loves to play, and Asuna getting aggressive right off the rip. 100 Thieves going after C.
Wow.
Asuna already starting off for two, looking for a third. The flash is going to hit the back of the site, but nothing doing quite yet. 100 Thieves is going to have full access onto C, get the spike down as well. They also have tripwires, ensuring that nobody comes around the flank. So for Sentinels, it's going to have to be through Garage if they can somehow establish control. And so far, that does not seem to be the case. Zombs has dropped as well, leaving Tens, a battered and tattered Tens, just with 13 health.
いや、なんかプレイスタイルが違うよね。さっきじっくりEU の試合見てたからかわかんないけど。今の戦いとかも。
With he and 10, 7, 13 HP, not a whole lot you can get done with that, as Nitro is going to end up being able to finish off the round.
ゴリゴリ。
So interesting so far, right? Like a common theme that we've seen, especially for teams who are rocking pistols or who are on a weird broken buy, is they do try to exploit the middle of the map, primarily to get into B, but this time a slight adjustment for 100 Thieves as they take a Raj to get into C as well.
アストラ弱くなってからもアストラ使ってるのかな。
An excellent start. They're going to be rewarded for their efforts as far as finances.
弱点されてから結構多め多い気がする。
Guns come through, but on the side of Sentinels, no force up, nothing fancy like that this time around.
Yeah, Dapper's got a little shorty, see if he can get something done down C. It did really feel like
Shorty
Thieves were
を
able to overwhelm Sick
買っており
in
ます。
Garage, just instantly sort of
ダープ。
dashing on him, and it's one of those things where if you play it slow, you can flash out of there and peek if you are the Phoenix, but for now some good damage by Sentinels down on A long, but of course 100 Thieves are already on to C.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, there was really nobody there. Dapper's already dropped.
皆さん
We
大
saw
好き
Steel
テンズ。
tagged up a pretty good bit, but Tens on this flank. We'll see if he's able to make anything happen. For 100 Thieves, you've already gotten onto the site. You've gotten the spike down slightly
テンズの
different
Z はだいぶ違うよ
and
ね。
you've assumed your post plants. Take a look at how far off they're playing on C long. Steel's back in spawn as well to ensure that nobody's flanking through. I mean, they are not going to be flanked this round, Ender.
No, they're not going to let it happen. It's a big difference from the last round where, well, Steel, it's going to pay off for him there. But now because they have the gun advantage, right, that range advantage, you don't have to play for Garage. Instead, you can play that longer angle. Shazam does get one, but this Ares getting some work done for Steel.
Well, Tens is on the site. Sams has gotten onto one too. They just don't know that they're going to be able to deal with the guns that are waiting on the other side. Tens is the last one there. He's going to get cleaned up as well. The Sheriff in the hands of Nitro gets 100 Thieves the second round win.
Yeah, Nitro didn't even lose any armor, so I think sitting on that Sheriff can go for an upgrade here. Not feel too bad about that one. This is Sentinels, you know, they're going to be able to sort of match in guns, maybe push ahead as well. And or 100 Thieves, we'll see what they've got, because right now they're sort of post up around A long. We saw Sentinels 2 rounds in a row, really trying to play down there with the Sova, get information, see if they can push down that area as well. But this time, Sentinels
注目選手は 100T はアスナかイーサンが入ったけど、まあでもアスナかセンチネルズもまあテンズかなこのマップは。
That's really it for now. Much more of a tempered approach from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I do love, you know, we were sort of talking about the Phoenix earlier, is like his ult is only 6 cost, right? And that can be a really strong ultimate, especially when you're feeling it. Pushing on out, you can get through that very quickly, but Sick, only 2 charges here, 2 kills to his name. Shazam almost just swung right back into the Ares. That would not have felt very good there.
Well, that's a bad day. If 100 Thieves continue these efforts, they're going to walk into a good bit of utility from Dapper. You've got the tripwires held up long. You've got the tan there as well. And then the shock darts coming through from Shazam to make sure that nobody walks through for free. And that looks like it's exactly what's going to happen now. There are no ultimates yet. See the smoke's already starting to come out through Heaven. Nitro wants to make the entry. Flash comes through from Ethan. Haven't been able to dash in quite yet.
いや、バロラントしてる、バロラントしてる。
Tags have been through. 38 seconds left. You really got to commit here. Dapper's already good for 2.
ダップル、ダップルって呼んじゃう俺。ダップルの
Oh my gosh, it's been a firing squad as 100 Thieves are just down to Hiko.
That's
He
it.
gets cleaned up as well. Sentinels get on the board.
Yeah, you spotted there the double
罠二重にやっとくのね。1個目で引っかかって下がったけど、2個目で A メインに2個は仕掛けてんだよ。で、ここでしっかりシャザムが1人止めてるのはでかい。よりも早い。
Yeah, I think that's a really good call on that double tripwire. We'll keep an eye on that, see if they continue to play that out.
NA の試合の方が見やすいよね。なんかわかんないけど。なんでなんだろう。勝負が多いからかな。
This time for 100 Thieves, they're back on a full buy. They rode the bonus out. They're sitting pretty. And again, much like the previous round, this seems to be a bit of a defaulty poke and prod, see what you can find, and then make a call.
Yeah, see if anything's going on in Garage. They see the Phoenix is playing pretty deep over towards C side. And you'll also notice that Cypher this time put very far tripwires forward, so he can just anchor down A, and the rest of the team get some.
あれ刺さってなかったかあれ。ダーツ刺さってなかったんか。いい攻めかこれは。B メインの入り口にスモークたかれて。このスモークもね、意外とスカイがいる状況だとあんまし、なんか。ダープがここで B バレちゃう B プラントバレちゃうパラノイアで足止めだね
Now, Asuna has the Blade Storm online, but there are shock darts, right? And there's nobody taking space away on the sides.
なるほどね。
Dapper working his way through short as Asuna continues to kill one more. Speak Ethan's still in a good position. Keep an eye on Dapper. Keep an eye on Dapper. He goes around the corner. Dapper cleans him up. Dapper gets dropped, but it may have been too much. The defuse is coming through from Zoms. Asuna with 21 health. In a 1v3, Sick was so weak, but it did not matter as he gets the kill. Sentinels tied up at 2 apiece.
Excellent hold there from Sentinels, and you
ヘイブンの A ってなかなか止められないんですよね。そうそうそう。マジで止められない。このダープがね、強えわ。ワイヤーが強え。ワイヤーっていうか、守り方が強え。サイファー相場で A 守ってるけど、強えね。それで超時間稼いでる。まあ C はリテイクだよね。結構。B はもう、B もリテイクかな。A だけなんかもう無理やり守ろうとするよね。センチネルズは。パラノイア帰ってきたけど、おー、惜しい。3キルいきそうだったよ。エンズがこれ。はい、なんかエイムカクカクしてる。エイムカクカクしてるテンズ。
Getting a couple kills, Dapper gets the last. Sentinels did drop 2. They drop Zoms, they drop Sick.
エイブンってキルジョイよりサイファーの方が守りやすいんですかね。いや、どうなんだろう。わかんない。わかんないと思う、それは。プロでもわかんないと思う。どっちもあると思う、ここ。
Now we still got that op in the hands of Tens. This time he's going to be playing down too long. Rifles, 400 Thieves, and also worth noting, you've got the Seekers, you've got the Hunter Series.
その A は何も考えてないとリテイクしづらい。人数残ってないですね。ヘブン下に飛んで、あ、ヘブン上に飛ぶんだ。上に飛んで。
Shaw holds fast. The paranoia comes out though. You've got to deal with Nitro. Here comes the Reddit back as well, coming out from Sick. Zico dances around.
リテイク早いね。
Still got the Hunter Fury. The spike isn't down yet, right? Like the spike never.
いや、テンズが強い。
Ethan's dropped as well. The sheriff up top from Tens is causing so many problems for Hunter Thieves. Nitro.
ナイトロ。お、あるよ。おー、惜しい。あと一発なんだけどな。30ダメージ。
takes it at the end. Types Omen diff in chat. It's all good for Sentinels taking that round. I mean, it looks like they got caught a little bit by surprise at the start. 100 Thieves, the first couple rounds, they've done really fast. But since then, they've taken it a little bit slower, played a little bit more for control, hitting late. That time, they're straight onto the site. But Sentinels, you know, they were able to recover so well. And of course, Zoms comes in to finish the job at the very end.
With that in mind, it looks like 100 Thieves are still going to be able to buy a bit. Well, they've lost the last 4 rounds. They had to buy in the previous round. You've still got Tens with he's going to get a shot. He's good for 1.
Dodged the drone right there. They didn't know he was back there. Played off that timing so well. All of a sudden, the take gets slowed down. It's so hard to punish him because now Dapper's here to help him out in the back of the site.
Gosh, even with that, look at Sick! Look at Sick! He's in Hiko's lap! The Hunter's Fury was channeled through, and yeah, the 3 bursts came off, but Sick was literally there. The spike is down in the middle of no man's land, if you're a fan of 100 Thieves, as they get cleaned up as well. 5 rounds in a row for Sentinels, and here's the thing, Ender. 100 Thieves, the hits have looked good. Right, like they've used their utility, they've combined their ultimates, they've gotten good space, but it just seems like Sentinels has been a step ahead.
He goes like, wait a second, I don't have a Phoenix on my team. All of a sudden, this guy sits, stares him down and gets the kill. No, you're absolutely right. Sentinels, I mean, they have gotten pushed off the site at the very start, but not that round, not at all. I thought Tens' play was beautiful, being able to hold down the site, buy time for the rest of his team to come in.
秘宝ですね。武藤遊戯にしてからチャンネル登録者が30人が減りました。前か。増やせばええやん。後で。
Folks, if you blink, you miss that one. Hiko's the last member remaining on the side of 100 Thieves this round. Sentinels did drop 2. And Hiko has upgraded a weapon. He just doesn't have any armor, right? And he's walking right into where Tens is holding with an op. So Tens is going to clean that up. Sentinels get to 6. And I think the the really impressive thing about this round was, again, like,
誰このデュエリスト知らないんだけど
sick with the curveball right through double doors.
解除しようっていう人が30名ほどいたみたいです。
They want to fight for middle control there, and it was
俺会話派なんだけど。あ、こいつうざ。ブロックしよう。
That area right outside of Garage, trying to see what they can, if anyone's going to peek out a B, anything like this. And now, well, when is playing so quickly against you, it can be really tough to do. You can see the switch up. Now Cypher back to that C site with trips inside the Garage, so much slower, much more passive hold after just running over 100 Thieves there on their eco.
Dude, what a set piece for A lobby control. Both Shot and Sick were 1 point away from having their ult online. They swing out as Tens is there as well to hold down short. Sick gets the run it back from getting that ultimate orb. That's going to bring it online as well. That was pretty to start off that round, but we'll see if Asuna can make anything happen. He's gotten on to C. Nitro's close behind. The spike isn't there, right? Like, this is all a ruse.
Going back. So here's the thing is I think Steel was able to hear Tens backing up on A, but you'll notice Tens hasn't fully left that site either, so a little bit of mind games trying to play this game of chicken. Did that Jet actually leave the site? That seems to be the read for 100 Thieves, but now as everything is slowed down, it all comes down to the lurk. Look at Asuna's position inside Garage. I love that we're highlighting him for a moment, because it is Asuna to break open this round and win it for 100 Thieves if this pays off.
He's got to get a kill here. He's got to get a kill on the Zoms. No, nothing doing, Zoms.
もはや全然大会見てないな、さっきから。全然大会見てないな。なんか、雑談みたいになってる。まあいいか。ほら、今のとか完全オーバーキルなんだけど。オーバーキルしてた敵出ていたから倒しましたみたいな感じだった。ダイナソー竜だけで嫌です。そいつは嫌だ。なんで名前変わったんですか？なんか変えた方がいいよ。でもネーミングセンスなくてアンケート取ったら武藤優が1位だった。
In positions where they could flank. First it was the Cypher down towards A long, then it was Asuna in Garage, but Sentinels read everything, never leaving the site, knowing that, hey, after 100 Thieves took control over C and pushed in towards that site, there was still a Jet that was unaccounted for, a Jet that could lurk through that area. Zoms had the read on that one, and now
しっかり強いね。センチネルズのこの軍隊感もすごいよね。軍隊感っていうか全員がさ、全員が強いんだよ。
Yeah, and so oftentimes when we think about attacking side on Haven, we talk about conditioning, right? Like we talk about manipulating rotations. We talk about giving eye candy to force the defenses to bite on something that they maybe not want to because of how difficult it is to rotate across all three sites. And Ender, the thing is, 100 Thieves have done that, right? Like they've showed some of those looks. They've hit hard and aggressive. They've hit defaulty. They've tried giving some looks elsewhere and then hitting your opposite sites. But Sentinels has just been a step ahead.
Yeah, it's been tough. And now you can see 100 Thieves. They took the pause and they want a little bit extra time. We'll see here if they end up going for a faster hit, or if they just go back to the default approach they've done a couple of times. Asuna's got the spike in his hands, just trying to push up towards B.
海外大会は割と OVK ありますね。OVK。いいね。言い方がいい。
Ethan just like E-hops his way through this site, but is met by Zoms on the other side as well. So the Spike's in a pretty brutal spot here. They don't have much as far as guns. Maybe, I mean, if you can hurt some economy, you've got something cooking. But kind of given.
ダープはなんかバロラント分かってるよね。めっちゃ打ち合いというかさ。こういう風に打ったら向こうが弾当てられないんだよなんてギリギリが分かってる動きな感じがするこれ。すごい。自分が当てれるっていうよりは相手から絶対当てれないんで感じの動きがすげえです。
But as you can see, Sentinels playing real strong over towards that C site. Currently 3 players, and well, 100 Thieves have previously been playing for mid control. Maybe this is a read for Sentinels. They're like, okay, maybe they're trying to come up with a different strategy, one that doesn't revolve so much around pushing towards Garage or mid.
And Steel getting popped instantly. Tried fighting for A lobby control. Got taken out. You see the flash coming out. The smoke is gonna block vision from A link onto B. Asuna has gotten on. It looks like, yeah, he was able to get the spike down. Hunter Fury has come out from Shazam as the Seekers follow shortly thereafter. from Ethan, and that's going to give them so much space to work with. But look at Sick. I mean, Sick's pretty far up.
ちなみになんで俺ダッパーじゃなくてダップって呼んでるかっていうと、なんかこの人のツイッターの名前 DARP じゃない？
Trying to clear that out, it's just chaos ensues on the outside
Darp,
of the site. Hego's still trying to dance his way around. Still got something, but my gosh, Sentinels, they just go full send, right? Like, they shove it down their throats, they don't give up an inch, and they get to 9.
We saw 100 Thieves do that same play earlier in the map, and it sort of went down in similar fashion, right? They don't have enough post-plant utility to play a really
これスペルミスしてるでしょ絶対。バロラントの名前。で、変え方わかんないから、DAPR。本当は DARP ってやりたかったんだけど、変え方わかんなくて DAPR。
We're going to get over into the air, and then we're just going to run out of smokes at you. We're going to spray through them with an Odin, and you're not going to be able to put yourselves in a position where you can stop us from defusing it. I feel like 100 Thieves have to be a little bit more aggressive playing for space when they're taking these sites, because just 2 shock darts is not going to cut it.
Get out of my way! Heavy A stack. Late storm online, Tens with the op has taken short control. He spotted Seal, my goodness.
反応早っ。反応早それは。
That was all he needed. Flash is going to come out as it looks like they're still going to try to hit the site. Nitro has gotten on good for 1. He got up top again, got a second. Asuna gets in on the action as well. Smoking off Heaven. This is probably the most breathing room they've had in a little while, Ender.
Yeah, the TP up into Heaven working wonders for them. Sick, we've seen this before. Flash drop, can you get it done? He can't.
わお、フラッシュ食らってたよね、完全に。
Oh, excellent paranoia as they understand where Zams is. Asuna goes in, cleans him up, and 100 Thieves stop the bleeding, although, was it too little too late?
Feels like it might be. I mean, Sentinels, even losing that round, they've got so much momentum behind them. 10's already dropping 16 on the first half, and, well, you can see that early on this map, you know, it went okay.
ここのリプレイ。
Round after, but then Sick was doing nasty.
全部のリプレイ前半の。なるほどね。
Get the kill. It's just Sentinels are feeling themselves, and when a team like this is feeling themselves in this way, it's difficult to deal with. We'll see what 100 Thieves can do defensively here in this second half, as Sentinels have made full intention that they want to go away.
Yeah, they've just simply backed up, playing a little slow. Look at that tripwire. Look at that thing. A little cross thing. I've never seen anything like that. A little bit wild there, trying to catch the Sentinels.
いや、なんだかんだもう 9-3 じゃん。ヘイブン守りで。いや、ただ、こういうマッチは結構守りマップになったりもするからね。結局。結局ね。ワンベッツ。
gets 2 filthy ones, taps on the spike, but Ethan was right behind him the entire time. 100 Thieves take a desperately needed pistol.
Yeah, they do. Really important for 100 Thieves, and you know, composition's a little bit more. It's funny because I felt like on attack it was hard to play the post plans for 100 Thieves, but when it comes to retaking a site, having the sky for information,
ないと見せかけてあるみたいな。ワイヤーじゃないと踏んでくれないみたいなのあるかな。
in these rounds, especially the later we get into things here on Haven, 100 Thieves are going to need to string a couple of these rounds together and get the momentum back in their favor. You can see 4 Spectres in the inventory, a Ghost on Asuna, saving up probably a buy on round number 3, and a fast take of Garage for Sentinels.
Should 100 Thieves with this gun difference, yeah, you start to feel some of that with Ethan getting those 2, yeah, shot traded him out. Spike is down in Garage. We're going to walk right into Nitro. But Dapper in a great timing, great spot. It also happens to be the last member remaining. So it's a 1v3. Asuna is very weak. And Dapper has managed to upgrade a weapon. But that's the thing, right? Like, Asuna and the rest of 100 Thieves, they know exactly where the spike is. They're just squatting on it. There's really no easy way for Dapper to get through, pick up the spike. And then, even if he does manage to do that while preserving health, he still has to plant the ding.
こいつクラッチ力めっちゃあるからな。
It's a lose-lose situation. Has no idea where anyone is.
うん、さすがに厳しい。
He sees the spikes like, oh man, it looks so juicy. No one's here. I got it. Boom. Gets shot straight in the face. The timing not too fun for him, but I mean, that was obviously great round from 100 Thieves.
なんだかんだテンズ強い。なんだかんだテンズめちゃくちゃキルしてる。どこでこんなキル取った？
Without any guns, at the same time, they are able to force an engagement on a player in Garage. That's when they're pushing through. That's when Dapper's coming out of the smoke on C-Long to be able to trade his kill. So they're still able to do a little bit of damage there, but there you have it. Asuna carrying over the light armor from the last round with an operator in his hand, a Vandal for Nitro 2.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to peek aggressively short. The shock dart, or excuse me, the recon dart's going to come out from Hiko to give him some space, but Asuna's already been pushed back. And just like that,
ここボム持ってこんなとこまで行くのね。
takes it instantly.
スパイク持っても抑えられちゃってるよ。
Oh, he knows. Oh, he's
どうすんだ?
He's back to see the gun. Oh, he sees it. He sees just the tip. Patience.
ショックダーツ入れに行かないんだこれ。
Wow, for Sentinels, I mean, the
problem. Wow.
Gosh. The problem was too, that was the spike, right? Like there was no way for Sentinels.
それはもうタイミング良すぎるわ。それはタイミング良すぎる。
They've managed to get the spike, but not without dropping sick. They're gonna rotate.
だいぶダメだけどな今。すぐ出るんじゃなくて。
But Asuna's good for a second one as well. That should open things up. You've got to keep an eye on Nitro though. If Nitro goes undetected, he can blow this up.
That's huge.
ナイトの場所。
Inside a cloudburst for now. This is a really good position if you know no one's going to be pushing down C long. But Sentinels,
お、強いね、この場所。
fully committing into garage. I love this from them. They get the
さあ、どっち攻めするんだろう。でも C っぽいよね。かなり C っぽい。リコン入れて C 取る感じかな。ブリンク。
So now they hit C site 10 to 15 seconds later than 100 were expected.
Nitro knows. Nitro has to hold fast. Yeah, he was able to clean one up. Hiko. Looking for a little bit more shots. Let's get the spike down. Good damage onto Zombs, but Zombs able to take care of Hiko. 53 health and a dream. Asuna is there as well.
レンズにもう一個スモーク残ってればな。このラウンド取れてたかもしれない。お、取った。ゾームスは強いよ。こいつスモークキャラだから光ってないだけだよ、絶対。 ラウンド取ってるイメージしかない、これ。ゾームスは。強い強い強い。
Secures a 10th round for Sentinels, and now 100 Thieves, after feeling like they had it, it was going to be 6 to 9. Now Sentinels on double digits.
With a mixed buy coming out for Sentinels, you see Dapper and Shazam both with Spectres, and it's pretty clearly a mixed buy for 100 Thieves as well, as they have two players on pistols. Now Asuna did use the Blade Storm to kind of try to help equalize that a bit, and you can see.
わお、止まっちゃった。
It means they can still control the extremities.
Yeah, definitely the play for them here. Sentinels slowly walking up through mid. That tripwire not going to slow them down far too much. It's placed pretty far forward too, so that's one you're going to be able to hear pretty quickly. Yeah, they've got the info. They break it. Now there's no one here to stop it. But you have to watch the flank now from 100 Thieves. That's critical, but the info does go over when they break the wire.
Shazam's about to have a couple of players in his lap that he's going to have to deal with. The spike has not been planted. Now 10 starting to get it. Steel able to win that duel, and the neural theft is going to come through. The spike is down at this point, so they're fully committed.
いや、これかなりリテイクしやすいよ。
They've taken both link controls. They've got the paranoia coming out from garage as well. They know where they are. They've got him pinched, and they're slowly but surely continuing to suffocate. Zombs gets cleaned up. An excellent round from 100 Thieves.
Beautiful flank there from the team. Also making sure that Asuna wasn't spotted, right? Steel did all of that on his own. The neural theft even tries to see the player pushing into garage. Gives so much information over to 100 Thieves. Beautiful play from them. And again, on Haven, it often does come down to these flanks. And you see Steel gets info over the shoulder, comes around, hits him in the head, then gets the second one. That's the big one that breaks open the round and secures it for 100 Thieves.
Steel went absolutely nuts, and just when it seemed like 100 Thieves weren't going to be able to put up much of a fight, they've rattled off a couple of rounds here. They're in a decent spot. Sentinels in a weird Dapper and Shazam all on pistols. Excuse me, Sick is as well. Intense has already been cleaned up. That Blade was supposed to be the difference maker, and it didn't do much.
100 Thieves just wanted to destroy this round. They're like, we're just going to run straight down mid. We're going to get the kills. We've got better guns than you. Dapper does this thing lurking up, but there's a camera being checked into. He sees a tripwire. There's not much room to go here on the map for Sentinels. So the Sentinels try to, reconfigure themselves, bounce back into the next round. I feel like one of the things they almost have to be thinking about is, the patience that's been working for them so much in previous rounds where, they mess up 100 Thieves' timings. If they, fast execute to a site, get a couple 100 Thieves player to bite, that's where it looks good for them. And 100 Thieves have been biting pretty pretty early on in some of these rounds.
Yeah. Yes, indeed, they have. But again, 100 Thieves get to 7. We didn't expect that to really go in favor of Sentinels, so it kind of went about as expected. But now they've got. They're gonna be able to approach this round from much more of a position of strength, right? There's still some light armor on Sick. It's just Sick, but he is 1 point away from having the running back online. So we'll see if they try to make a play. No,
Notice this from Shazam too. Oftentimes he actually uses this drone to get control over sewers, because we saw when Sentinels were on defense, when Tens would play down in sewers, he was always getting that peek, always getting a kill with the operator. So knowing that Asuna could have that, I really like using that drone early in the round to make sure that 100 Thieves can't be taking that
守り方結構違うね。
can't be putting a player into a great position.
スティールと。
I do love the adaptation from 100 Thieves as well, knowing that Sick was 1 point away from having the run it back online, takes so much C-Long control, and they get a kill at the end of it, just leaving 2 members of Sentinels alive. You've got Tense, he's got the spike, right? And Shazam's 1 point away from having the Hunter Siri, but in a full strength from 100 Thieves. Asuna still has the op. Nitro can flip the map if he needs to. For some reason, they get by him, but Shazam's already been cleaned up. Tens is alone. He's good for 1.
点が残った。まあ点でもいくら。いくら点で無理だ。
You saw it, right? Like there was actually
down C, line that, shoot that even off the sound. And once you lose that control over C-Long, you're kind of committed there. If you are Sentinels, you know you're going to be getting pincered on, crushed in on from the back.
センチネルズは今回マーシャル2本。
That's usually not going to work with Cypher and an op.
One of 2 marshals for Sentinels taken out already. Ten still has the other. As for Sentinels, they haven't really progressed the spike anywhere. You see Steel has already taken all of A-Long control.
おお、こういう想定しなかった。
Something like this, it can be problematic, but Asuna's already dropped with the op.
シックがオペレーター拾っちゃったよ。
Neural Theft is coming through as well. Yeah.
The flank, like the mind games, right? You got Shaft playing back and spawn with the Steel. Oh yeah, he gets the back of the head on Steel. Now the map is sort of yours. You can see 100 Thieves. They know there's 3 sites that Sentinels can be going to. Hiko's going to commit all the way back towards A, and if he can get 1, maybe 2 here, that could end up winning the round.
いや、シャダム武器持ってるしね。離婚を待つ感じかな上がるの。
Ethan just took care of the flank, but they don't bite on that, right? You don't see them pulling off. Hiko's still
もういい
running
感
out.
じだ。
Nitro's
ア
still
クションあっ
waiting
たか
as
ら。
well. Yep, he spotted Tens. That should be the cue. You see him start to swarm onto the site. The plant comes through. The shot dart hurts. Not able to clean him up as the spike goes down. A couple of Marshall shots coming through. The smokes follow Shazam. Ethan slowly creeping his way forward. Gets one onto Shazam as Tens is left alone with the Marshall in a 1v3. No magic, no heroics, no shenanigans for Sentinels as 100 Thieves bridge the gap to 1.
100T が追いついてきた。
So hard to hold on to that A site against the retake of 100 Thieves. You can see there, just one shock dart to get big damage. Struggling here.
Going to be able to bring that into the next round. We'll keep an eye on where he plays it. So it looks like, again, we're going to be fighting for this A lobby control.
B は毎回ワイヤー置いてんだ。
Of the series. Hiko's got the Hunter Siri, but he's going to be recon darting to deny A lobby control. And for Sentinels, they have a couple of weapons too.
Yeah, I mean, this time, though, the drone isn't going to be going down A short, so you can see this allows Asuna to get in a beautiful position down in that corner if anyone's going to cross over, but as soon as they hear that Phoenix coming on through, they know it's going to be a C hit. But do they? Because right now, Sentinels still have yet to commit. They've only got 2 players in the garage.
メイクスのアルティメットの使いどころ難しいよね、意外と。今のだからガレージ前から C 入っていったけど。 どういう使い方するかマジでむずい。おお。
Trying to work his way around the back of the site in this 2v2. Gets up some of the space.
1v1。でこれアスナ取るんじゃない？おお。
Bringing the pain down from the top rope. A 3K for Asuna, and they tie this bad boy up.
Oh man, I'm just getting chills when a Jet is feeling themselves and they're just going forward. There is no back for Asuna. He's sitting on 77 HP and 4 armor, but he doesn't care. He's got the Blade Storm and the right click worked from that range. Oh man, beautiful stuff. And it was
よくこれ当てたな。最初のキル。
At the start, they had a couple players able to infiltrate into Garage, and that dealt some serious work, but can you believe it. I thought they nerfed that. Like
いやフラッシュじゃなくて普通にジェットが勝てた説あったけど、シック。
When you see duelists feeling themselves, it really is. It's a treat. It really is a treat. Asuna still has that up. You've got rifles on the side of Sentinels. And we're seeing this fight for A lobby control. No aggressive space taken away down C. Nothing down A as well. As Thieves are playing this one far more conservatively.
I swear if Austin was able to get a tag,
ジェットはさ、このなんだっけな、この Q のスキル、クイーンって浮くやつ。これの時の当たり判定もうちょっとでかくしてほしいわ。それが強すぎる。クナイと組み合わさった時。Secrets have come out as well. They're gonna, oh my gosh, they know exactly where they are. They're just huddled back in attacker spawn. They haven't made very much progress at all now. If they continue to work their way towards C, they're gonna find out that it's free. But for 100 Thieves, they're gonna find that out pretty soon as well. Zom's committing. Zom stuck it. Zom stuck it. 6 already good onto Nitro. Zom gets onto the back of the site. They're gonna smoke off defender spawn as well as Tense gets the spike down.
Yeah, still gonna be really slow to find that flank too. You can see only now entering into A lobby, and Shazam has a suspicion something like that may be happening. Now with Steel getting the flank.
こんだけナーフされてもジェットやっぱ強いもんな。ブリンクが。
And Ethan just flashed garage, so now they understand that they can work that way.
そう、アップドラフト中もっと当たりやすくなんねえかな。テンズ何これ。
My goodness, the duelist does it again. Now Steel in a 1v3, the round is far from over. But it's just continuing to tick away. I don't know if Steel's gonna have enough time. Tense just goes absolutely bonkers to win that round for Sentinels.
You know, there's a reason. Before we loaded into this map, we're like, hey, Austin and Tense, kind of the guys to watch. We just saw them put up insane carry performances in back-to-back rounds. There was nowhere for Sentinels to go on the site. They were stuck there, but Tense said, actually, we're not. I can just run through 3 players through. What is going on? How do you have the confidence to do this? It's like he has no cares in the world, knows he's going to get what he needs for Sentinels to take the round.
ああいう時エイムラボの成果出てるんじゃない？多分。近距離だからさ、エイム合わせりゃいいから。めっちゃ的でかいし。また。ただ今度シックもう一個裏側に入っとる。そこまで取るみたいなのをセットにしてんだろうな。
Got to time that one out with the flame wall to get a crossover there. And you know what, Asuna? You weren't too far off with that attempt there. But if you'd done it again, I think we might have had to check that PC because that would not have been normally.
Dapper, the cam across the middle of the map. You see it just on the outside of double doors. So we've seen 100 Thieves like to aggressively take middle of map control away.
10対11。
Slight adjustment there to ensure that there's nothing being taken away as they slowly rotate over towards C.
守りアップかやっぱり。
You've got Nitro who should have a good bit of info. And yeah, they're full sending. Nitro is going to be in a world of hurt. Great paranoia, but it doesn't matter.
ここの1キル強い。
Can blow it up, and it's Tense. He's already good for one. Sick gets the second one as
強
well.
すぎ
They've
る。
gotten onto C. You're starting to see the
あれでやられたらたまったもんじゃないよ。
start to rotate over.
なんかキャラ性能だもん。
Because he's
あん
got
な
the op, and you can already see the intentions are probably safe here.
キャラ性能でのこのなんて言うんだろう。とんでもないアングルで出てきてあれでパーンって一発でやられたら無理よ。それは。
Maybe we have Steel try to play for some exit frags over towards that grass area outside garage, but yeah, it's an operator in a 3v5, and with it being so late into the game, 100 Thieves are going to give Sentinels match point here, just to hold on to that operator and that chance to try and push us to an OT in map 1.
シックキル2ラインいっ
It's
て
been
ます。
so much fun, and this is actually something I was really excited about when we figured out that these were the 2 teams who were going to be playing, because yeah, like the kill feed is fun, and like the big plays and all of that stuff is fun. It's flashy, it's sexy, but I love watching these teams making these minor adjustments, right? Like these tiny minor adjustments to how the other team is playing. To like it's a game of chess, especially on a map like Haven, that's just so much fun to watch. I know I touched on the
ジェットゲーやな、これ。
from Dapper
もう
across
スコア
the
見て
middle
も
of the map in the previous round,
ジェットばっかり
ensuring that nothing was happening, and it's stuff like that, right? Like those minor adjustments.
Oh yeah. She's an upsider. Been critical trying to spot him out early on in the round, and as I say that, it's actually going to be over towards B, maybe even C now for Asuna, waiting out the end of that tactical timeout.
So good guys.
チャンネルの名前どうしようかな。このまま多分ずっと武藤遊戯でいるわけにはいかないと思うんだよな。コナミ的にも良くないと思うんだよな。うちの武藤遊戯を勝手に使ってる？許せませんねみたいな感じ言われちゃうから。どうしようかな。
If that's where how they want to go about it. But again, Nitro's taking so much space C-Long.
Yeah, Nitro loves to do this. Big difference, though, is that Ethan's also there with him. So if we have that same paranoia play, well, there's going to be a lot of flashes to throw back Asuna here, too, to make sure there's another angle that Sentinels are going to have to consider.
Oh my gosh. It's beautiful.
Oh.
It's beautiful because they know he likes to play this spot. Yeah. So they've got a perfect setup, but Tens gets it.
ただもう一人いるんです。わーお、ただこれウルト使ってたのがでかいよねこれ。しっかりスモーク焚いて、スモーク抜いちゃう。何これ？何これ？ムトそれはもうグレートムタね。グレートムタ。グレートムタない。ムト刑事。ムト推しを遊戯。何それ？ミドルネームにする？ダイナソー龍崎は俺は好きじゃないから。
But on any amount of sound, he can pop up into window and then get that very quick flank. Sentinels are gonna actually, Dapper is kind of suspecting it could happen. Very interesting to see, and there you have it. He pushes into window. This flank is gonna come in much faster than Sentinels expect.
FPS 解説するそうって名前は好きだったんですけども、どうしてもやらないですか？いや、名前はね、正直ね、こだわりがないですよ、私。なんだって言っちゃいい。
Just jet duel after jet duel. Who can carry a little bit harder? Asuna getting some serious work done, and he does it again. How does he get away with it again? Because he got a 4K that round, but let's not forget how it started. Just stopping someone down C-Long straight up through a smoke. Yeah, it was kind of against the wall. You can expect they can sort of be there, but that is absolutely incredible, and it's off of a position where 100 Thieves didn't get as much.
どうせなら目立つやつがいいなってのはある。
なんでもいいけど。Asuna is there with good aim, good position on that jet.
Excellent round from 100 Thieves for Sentinels. Another opportunity to put 100 Thieves away. Yeah, for Asuna, not going to land anything. He may have spotted something. He's going to pop the Blade Storm and then retreat to safety. Look at how far up Sick has gotten already. He's using the drone as contact, right, to take some of that space away. But he gives it right back up. And for Steel, or for Nitro, excuse me, no cubby play this time. Going to play it far more conservatively.
Yeah, it's something Sick and Shazam have loved to do using that.
これいつにやってた大会ですか？これは1ヶ月ぐらい前じゃないかな、ちょうど。多分。ガブって噛んだ。意外と30ダメージぐらい入るからな、噛んだら。地味に強いよ、髪よ。センチネルズは木めっちゃ抜くよね。ファントムで。さあ、ニトロの、ナイトロの。アスナ外しちゃった。ただ、2v2 か。セットめっちゃ決まったな、ちゃんと。ここ取りたいところだね、センチネルズ。これ取ったら勝ちだから。
Spike isn't playing it, and Shazam has the Hunter 3, but he's not in a great spot to use it, right? Like, if he could get down to long, he can use that in his post plants, but he's a bit stuck here. He has a really good idea of where they're coming from. Slowly creeping his way forward. It's just going to fall down onto Dapper. Dapper's going to drop it as well, ladies and gentlemen. For the first map in this best of 3, we're going to overtime.
I love it. In a map that's been all about the two Jets, the final round to make it to
いや、噛みつき確か30入った気がするんだけど。
Sova v Sova, and it's 100 Thieves that take it. Now we got a little bit of extra time, 45 seconds to gear ourselves back into things. Let's not forget, this map has been so defense-sided today for these two teams. So winning a map, winning
there is they had a great cross. It's been so defense-heavy that if you're Sentinels, you gotta feel really good. You've got 10s on the last cannon, because he's not able to afford any armor. He's also not going to have cloud burst.
犬に噛まれるってわけだからね。30。だから犬に、これ基準できたよね、でも。バロラントの武器はどれくらい痛いのかっていう。ファントムでヘッドショットされたら犬に噛まれる5倍よりは痛くないらしいです。犬、狼？犬？犬に噛まれるのが30。がっつりね。飛び込みながら噛まれるのが30だから、オペレーターで撃たれたら、犬に飼われるちょうど5倍痛い。
So the options are you go back C or you recommit B. That's gonna give that's not a good sign either. Looks like they're gonna try to hit it anyway. Take a look at Nitro. He's playing patiently, waiting for it to come through, but Toms gets cleaned up. Steel looking to go aggressive. Steel getting a second as the spike goes down, not able to get.
だからクラシック一発我々でも耐えれるんじゃない？もしかしたら。全然耐えれる。全然耐えれるクラシック一発。うわ、なんでそっち見ちゃった。いや、強えな。
So unlucky there for Nitro, and he was so far away he felt like he was pressured to really run back towards that B site in case there was going to be some sort of defuse there. But let's not forget that is Sentinels winning a round on defense. They must get a win on attack to make it happen, and very similar to earlier in this map, the first half, it was initial pick.
タスマニアンタイガー。タスマニアンタイガーって何？トラってこと？トラなの？犬じゃなくて実は。センチネルズマッチポイント。あいつもシックのショート取るやつ。
Sick has already been spotted as well. Great hot hands to push up Asuna, looking to tank it. Ethan gets cleaned up. And does well, steals in great.
いや、強い強い強い。
He gets cleaned up.
2キルはでかい。1キルか2キルかでだいぶ違う。ここで、いいとこでロードされた。
Ethan gets cleaned up. And does well. Steals in a great spot. Steals good for 2. He gets cleaned up. A 3v2, a slight 3v2 in favor of 100. Asuna's just got 11 health. Eco gets pushed off.
Oh, パラナイス刺さってた。
Excellent. Shazam is left alone.
いや、これはきつい。
He's good for 1, not able to get the second as 100 Thieves. Hiko gets the third, and we're going another round.
Look, everyone, if you're watching, buckle up. If you need to run and grab a quick water, do it fast, because this may be a very long OT. These teams have been equally matched so far, and this time it's Steel able to come up big in that position, right outside of Long, and it's because, you know, Shazam a little bit slow to push out down a long, all those players funneling out of sewers. Well, you got to worry about all these different angles. You got to worry about Heaven. You got to worry about, you know, a Link, right? All these different things got to be wearing on you. And Steel hadn't played there just yet. So now it's 100 Thieves starting to go fast towards A.
Tens.
Didn't tag him. Yeah, I mean, they're walking into Tens' op. And look at them now. They're starting to pull off. Nitro's taking the spike. He's already.
僕はこの試合センチネルズが勝つ方に。チャンネル名かけます。
We talked about eye candy, right? They're leaving enough here to entertain, to make them think that that's where they want to go. Tens gets pushed off with the op, and as soon as Tens gives up that angle, they rotate away.
Yeah, that's big. You sacrifice a little HP there, you're going to be fine because you removed the dash from Tens. Such a big playmaking tool, and, well, Sick, a little bit isolated here. doesn't have any flashes left to work with either. So if 100 Thieves are quick on this one, there's only 2 players to stop them.
わお。わお。マジかよ。
Seal gets cleaned up as well.
アンビリーバボーやわよ。
Who's back on site is still there.
やばいな。
He's got no armor. Oh my
そ
god,
こを
that shocked armor.
飛び出して抜く勇気やばすぎる。
Right, like there's nothing he can do with that. Shazam's been cleaned up. Ethan looking to go aggressive as Tenz gets one with the op.
今のはもう絶対ファントムじゃないとできない。
Pillars Ethan. Oh my gosh, a shorty again? Out of Tenz?
わ
Eco gets cleaned up as Sentinels take the lead once again. A 3K for Tenz.
お。テンズも強いけどさ、ダープが今やばいでしょ。抜きが。テンズは強いのは分かってるじゃん。みんな。普通に当てるし。今早いし。ダープはそう抜くかね。ロングブラーって。あれ何味方のスモーク抱いてもらって抜いたんかな。あ、敵のか。いや違う、味方のか。
They are now slowing it down, but 5 players ready to attack.
For 100 Thieves,
今回ショート
using
4
Sky
人。
utility to ensure that there's no one working mid, so the possibility of a fake is gone, right? Like they know that's where they're going. Tenz is already dashed onto the site.
あ、燃えた。
Eco with
あ、そしてシ
33 health,
ッ
he's
クが
gonna
全然。
fall as well.
いや、これは終わったな。
Looks like the attack might
これは決まっ
finally
ちゃったわ、
break
多分。
through. 100 Thieves just down to 2 players. They're not on the site. Sick as a freaking run it back in an OT round. As he's just been so instrumental to get them
策
to this
的に
point.
ウルト使ってって。
They have a paranoia and 2 birds. Try and get blinds off. They get some info here,
しっかりモロト
but
フ。
gets halted with that fire.
しっかり壁。これでも1わかんない。
Thieves against 4 players. They have to act quick because it's a 2v4.
ただ鳥が1個ある。鳥をここで。
The second flash, the paranoia is going to follow as well. Sick trying to do it through the smoke, not going to do it, but Dapper does. Ladies and gentlemen, the overtime marathon
GG.
is over. Sentinels take map 1. When we return, map 2 in this highly contested best of 3. Don't go anywhere.
さて。疲れたな。まあ、センチネルズ勝つのは知ってたんですけどね、この試合結果から飛んでるからさ、ページから。ここから飛んでるからさ。コミュニティプレディクションズ。どっちが勝つか予想するかってやつね。80% センチネルズだって。すげえね。80%。うん。チャンネルの名前どうしようかな。A 入るときは、モロトフ強いね。リテイクに来させない。やつ。このサイトはザ・スパイク GG ですよ。これ。あれ、晴れてるかな、ちゃんと。晴れた晴れた。武藤勇気って画数多いな。いや、終わろうかね。今日のところは。おっつ。チャンネルとりあえずご使用にするわ。とりあえず、ちょっと、 3ヶ月に3回変えれるから、2回目でしょ。1回変えた、とりあえず一旦、5子を経由していこうかなと思います。通常の5子を経由していこうかなと。ひとまずね。まあ、武藤遊戯、誰それ。俺、海馬派なんだけど、チャンネル登録解除するわ。っていう勢力がね、いるんで、それによってチャンネル登録者数若干減ったんで、30人ぐらい、普通に減ったんで、ご視聴にしておきます。とりあえず。